The just 5 minutes trick. Have you ever looked at a big task and felt totally stuck? It feels too big to even begin, right? Sometimes your mind just shuts down, but here's a quiet trick, a gentle push to get things moving. The just 5 minutes trick. Here's how it works. Instead of telling yourself you have to finish everything or work for an hour, you just promise yourself 5 minutes. Only 5. You set a timer. You tell your brain, okay, we're just going to touch this for 5 minutes. After that, if we still hate it, we can stop. It sounds simple, but this idea is very old. Think about people long ago who understood how our minds resist big efforts. They knew the hardest part isn't the work, but the starting of it. The first step takes the most energy. Once you're moving, it's often easier to keep going. Imagine a really tough math assignment. It looks impossible, and your first thought is to close the book. But instead, you say, all right, just 5 minutes. I'll read the first problem, maybe write down what I know. You set your timer. A strange thing happens. After those 5 minutes, you might find you've already solved a part, or at least understood it better. The heavy feeling starts to lift. Sometimes, you even keep going without realizing it. It's like a rolling ball. It just needed that first little push. This trick isn't magic. It's about being kind and smart with your own mind. It shows how even a small beginning holds power. It teaches that courage isn't always a huge roar. Sometimes, it's a soft whisper to yourself saying, just 5 minutes. In those few minutes, you find the strength to face what seemed impossible. It reminds us that every long journey is just a series of small 5-minute steps, taken one after another. Chop it up. Make big stuff small. Have you ever looked at something really big, like a huge assignment, or maybe a messy room that seems impossible to clean? That feeling can be heavy, right? Like a giant weight on your chest. It's natural to feel that way when facing something overwhelming. But here's the thing, our minds often do to help us. We chop it up. We take that enormous scary thing and break it into smaller bite-sized pieces. Imagine trying to eat an entire pizza in one go. Impossible. But slice by slice, suddenly it's doable. Your brain instinctively understands this. People have known this for centuries. Ancient thinkers knew that to conquer a huge problem, you focused on one small part, then the next. This isn't about avoiding the main challenge. It's about making a gentle path through it. Think about writing a big research paper for school, staring at a blank screen, thinking about the whole thing. Introduction, body, conclusion, sources feels huge. It can make you freeze up. But what if you just decide, today, I'll find 5 good sources, and tomorrow, I'll just write my main ideas. Then, I'll write 1 paragraph. Each small step becomes manageable. You're not writing a whole paper. You're just finding sources, then an outline, then a paragraph. Each small victory builds confidence. This way of thinking isn't just about getting things done. It's about being kind to your own mind. When we chop big problems into small pieces, we lessen the pressure. We give ourselves permission to breathe, to take one gentle step at a time. And sometimes, in those quiet steps, we find strength. It shows us even the most daunting journeys are just a series of small, brave moments, one after another. And that's why it matters. What if it doesn't happen? Have you ever poured your heart into something, truly wanting it, and then a quiet question slips into your mind? Asterisk, what if it doesn't happen? That knot in your stomach, you're catching breath. This worry about the future is deeply human, especially when our hopes are tied to it. Here's the thing, our brains are great at planning, but sometimes they get too good at planning for problems. We imagine scenarios. When it comes to the bad, our mind tries to protect us by running through ways things could go wrong. This is like a mental fire drill, but often, that drill makes us more anxious than prepared. It's about noticing the energy we spend worrying about things that might never happen. Wise thinkers from ancient times, like the Stoics, understood this. They didn't say, don't care. Instead, they suggested something powerful. Focus on what you can control. You control your effort, your kindness, how you react, but you can't always control the final outcome. They believed much of our worry comes from resisting what we can't change. Think about trying out for a school play. You practiced lines, feel the part, dream of being on stage. The fear of not getting cast can feel huge. You might spend days worrying, but that worry won't change the director's decision. It only drains your energy now. Your courage was in trying. Your strength is in how you move forward, no matter what happens. So, what if it doesn't happen? Maybe you've learned something important. Perhaps it clears a path for something else, unexpected but meaningful. When what-if worries sneak in, remember your power lies in your effort today, your ability to adapt, and your capacity to find calm. Your worth isn't tied to one outcome. It's tied to the steady, brave heart you bring to each new day. Be your own best cheerleader. Have you ever really listened to the quiet voice inside your head? Not when you're talking to others, but just your own thoughts, especially when things get tough. Sometimes, that voice can be critical, pointing out mistakes, or saying you're not enough. But that voice can also be your greatest strength. Being your own best cheerleader means choosing to make your inner voice kind, supportive, and strong. It's like having a loyal friend always believing in you. For thousands of years, people knew how powerful our thoughts are. Ancient thinkers understood what we tell ourselves shapes our world. They spoke of building inner calm, a strength from within. This isn't about ignoring problems. It's about facing challenges with a gentle, firm belief that you can get through them. Think about being nervous for a presentation or a big game. If you tell yourself, I'm going to mess up, I can't do this, how do you feel? Worse, right? But what if you told yourself, I've practiced, I can do my best? That small shift changes how you perform and feel. It's like a coach telling an athlete they are strong. Your mind can be that coach. Speaking kindly to yourself isn't just about feeling better now. It builds something deeper. It helps you know you deserve kindness, especially from yourself. It helps you stand tall even when you feel small. And that's why it matters. By being your own best cheerleader, you grow a quiet strength, a constant source of encouragement that stays with you. It reminds you that you are worthy, capable, and never truly alone when you have your own self on your side. The power of stepping away. Have you ever felt stuck? Like your brain is just spinning its wheels, trying to solve a problem or understand something, but it's just not clicking. Sometimes, the best thing we can do for our minds isn't to push harder, but to simply step away. It sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? But giving your mind a break, letting it wander, can actually be a superpower. Think about the ancient Greek mathematician, Archimedes. The story goes that he was trying to figure out how to tell if a king's crown was pure gold. He struggled for a long time. Then, he decided to take a bath. While he was relaxing in the water, he noticed how his body displaced the water. And suddenly, the answer hit him. Eureka, he famously shouted. He wasn't thinking about the problem when the solution arrived. He had stepped away. It's a bit like when you're drawing a picture, and you're so focused on one tiny detail that you can't see the whole image clearly. But if you stand back, take a few steps away from the easel, suddenly the proportions make sense, and you see what needs to be fixed. Your brain does something similar. When you're too close, too focused, it can get tangled. Stepping away lets your brain breathe. It lets different parts of your mind connect in new ways, without the pressure of direct focus. It's like your subconscious mind keeps working on the puzzle in the background, making connections you couldn't see when you were staring right at it. So, the next time you feel completely stuck, whether it's on a school project, a tough decision, or even just feeling overwhelmed, remember this power. Give yourself permission to pause, to go for a walk, listen to music, or just stare out the window for a bit. It's not giving up. It's giving your mind space to rearrange its thoughts, to find clarity. Because sometimes, the most profound answers aren't found in pushing harder, but in the quiet courage to simply let go, even for a moment, and trust that your mind will find its way back, stronger and clearer. When your brain hits a wall, have you ever been sitting there, maybe staring at a blank page, or a math problem, and suddenly it feels like your mind just stops, like a car engine sputtering out, or a video game character frozen in place? There's this moment, isn't there, when all your thoughts, all your effort, slam into something invisible. It feels like a thick, unmoving wall inside your head. You try to push through it, to think harder, but nothing comes. Just a quiet, frustrating blankness. This isn't just you. Everyone feels this sometimes. It's a very human experience. Even really old philosophers, like the wise thinkers in ancient Greece, understood that minds can get stuck. They talked about how important it was to know when you didn't know something, or when your mind needed a different path. They knew that sometimes, trying harder wasn't the answer. Instead, taking a step back could actually help the ideas flow again. It was about respect for the mind's own rhythm. Think about when you're trying to figure out a tough puzzle. You look at it from one angle, then another, but the pieces just don't fit. You keep trying the same moves, getting more and more annoyed. But here's the thing, If you walk away for a bit, go do something else, maybe listen to music, or just look out the window, and then come back to the puzzle. Suddenly you see it. A piece you missed, a new way to turn something. The solution was there, but you needed to let your mind relax and reset. So when your brain hits that wall, it's not a sign that you're not smart enough, or that you're failing. It's more like a quiet message from your own mind. It's telling you to pause, to take a breath. It's an invitation to trust that sometimes the most important step forward is to take a small step back. It reminds us that our minds, like everything else alive, need moments of quiet rest to find clarity, to connect the dots in a new, softer way. And that's why it matters, because letting go a little can lead to surprising new paths. It's a quiet reminder that true strength isn't always about pushing harder, but sometimes about knowing when to rest and simply be. Start your day right. A little ritual. Have you ever woken up feeling immediately rushed, like the day just grabbed you before you were ready? Your mind might already buzz with worries. Being pushed along is common, but what if we could meet the day, instead of letting it simply take over? What if we claimed just a few minutes, right at the start? This is what a little ritual does. It's not magic or big changes. It's simply choosing one small, quiet thing for yourself before the world gets loud. Long ago, people had morning routines, even without our busy lives, like watching sunrise or a quiet moment before work. They knew these first moments set a tone. It was their way of saying, I am here, ready for what comes. Here's the thing, your brain works better with a walk. Imagine building a complex Lego castle. You wouldn't just dump pieces out, you'd sort them, ready them. A morning ritual is like that preparation for your brain. Slowly drinking water, feeling refreshed, looking out your window, noticing light, listening to a calm song, or writing one good thing. It doesn't need to be fancy. The goal is a calm space, an anchor, before demands pull you away. And that's why it matters. This simple act reminds you that you have power, even over how your day begins. It's a whisper of peace you can carry. It helps you remember you're not just reacting to life, you're also gently shaping it, starting now, with this quiet moment. The wind down wonders. Have you ever noticed how the world seems to hold its breath as evening falls? Or how, after a really busy day, your mind just won't quiet down, even when your body is tired? That buzzing inside is common. Here's the thing, our brains and bodies need a special kind of quiet to gently shift gears for rest. These are the wind-down wonders, the small, gentle acts that help us let go of the day's rush. They aren't about stopping suddenly, but about slowly, smoothly easing into stillness. It's like turning down the volume on a noisy room, bit by bit, until everything feels calm and soft. These moments are vital for our spirit. People have known this for a long, long time, across many cultures. Ancient thinkers, like the Stoics, talked about quiet reflection at day's end. They believed in taking time to think about what happened, good or bad, not to dwell, but to simply observe and let it go. It's about giving your mind a gentle signal to unclench and release the day's grip. Think about a really fast-moving train. It doesn't just slam on the brakes and stop instantly at the station. Instead, it slowly, smoothly reduces its speed. It coasts, it glides, until it reaches its quiet stop. Our minds work a lot like that train. If we try to go from full-speed homework, games, social media, to trying to sleep instantly, it's a jolt. It feels uncomfortable. But if we give our minds time, with simple, calming things like reading a few pages of a book, listening to soft, peaceful music, or just sitting quietly with a warm drink, it prepares us. It lets the mental engines cool down, slowly and kindly. And that's why it matters so deeply. These moments before sleep aren't just empty time you have to get through. They are precious, sacred spaces. They are where we mend ourselves, where we let worries drift away like slow-moving clouds across a wide sky. It's in these quiet pauses that we find a deep sense of peace, a comforting stillness. We remember that even after the wildest, most demanding day, there is always a calm harbor waiting inside us. We deserve that gentle quiet, that time to gather ourselves, and it helps us greet the next day with a clear heart and a rested spirit. Taming your tech monster. Have you ever felt like your phone or computer holds a strange kind of power over you, like it's always nudging, always calling, pulling your thoughts away from whatever you're doing? It's a familiar feeling for many of us, this silent battle for our own attention. But here's the thing, those glowing screens aren't just tools we use. They've become something more. They shape how we think, how we feel, and how we see the world. Sometimes without us even noticing. This isn't a new problem, even if the technology itself is. Think about ancient thinkers, people like the old Greek philosophers. They talked a lot about controlling your desires and keeping a clear mind. They understood that what you choose to focus on really matters. For them, it was about resisting shiny distractions or urges. For us, today, that shiny distraction often glows in our pocket, buzzing with endless updates. It's like having a little creature living with you, always hungry for your attention, always wanting just one more peek. If you feed it every time it asks, it grows bigger and harder to ignore. This isn't to say technology is bad. It connects us, teaches us, and helps us create. But the trick is to be the one in charge, not the other way around. Imagine your mind as a beautiful, quiet garden. When your tech monster roams free, it can stomp through, leaving footprints everywhere, making it hard for your own thoughts and feelings to bloom. So, this is how it works. You decide when to let it in, and when to keep it at bay. You choose moments of silence, moments of deep looking, moments of just being. Because when we learn to quiet the monster, we can hear our own hearts again, clear and true. And that's why it matters. You get to truly live in your own story. Single-tasking superpowers voiceover. Have you ever tried to do something important, like studying for a test, but your mind feels pulled in many different directions? It's like trying to watch a movie when other screens are also playing. Hard to truly see or hear anything clearly that way, isn't it? Our minds can feel that scattered too. But here's the thing. There's a quiet strength, a superpower, in choosing to do just one thing at a time. It's called sync. This means you give your full, undivided attention to one task, just that one. For a little while, everything else waits. You pick up your book, and you just read. You work on that math problem, and you just focus on the numbers. Centuries ago, people who thought deeply about life, wise philosophers, understood this. They knew that when you truly immerse yourself in one act, even a simple one like watching a sunset, you connect with it more fully. They believed this focus wasn't just about getting things done. It was about truly living the moment, bringing your whole self to whatever you were doing. Think about drawing. When your entire mind is on the line you're sketching, or the colors you're mixing, something beautiful happens. The drawing comes alive. But if you're trying to draw while checking messages, the art feels rushed, not truly you. It's like a spotlight. A scattered light just fuzzes things out, but a focused beam cuts through, showing every detail. This isn't just a trick to get more done. It's a way to quiet the noise inside, to make your work feel more meaningful, and your moments feel richer. It's about finding a calm power within you. When you do that, you don't just finish a task. You bring a part of yourself to it. You become truly present. Staying cool when things heat up. Have you ever felt that rush of heat? That sharp feeling when something goes wrong? Maybe a friend said something hurtful, or you got a tough grade on a test. It feels like your mind is boiling, right? Like steam wanting to burst out. In those moments, it's hard to think clearly. Here's the thing. Our bodies are amazing. When stressed or angry, an old part of our brain, the lizard brain, kicks in. It's ancient, keeping us safe. It pumps adrenaline, readying us to fight or run. This helped ancestors escape a tiger. Today, it might make you yell at your brother. The goal isn't to stop these feelings. That's impossible. Instead, learn to notice them, feel the heat, but not let it burn you. Thinkers from ancient Greece, like the Stoics, understood this. They said we can't control what happens, but we can control how we react. True strength, they believed, came from inside. It was about choosing calm, even when the world felt wild. So, when frustration hits, try this. Imagine watching it, not drowning. Here's an example. Say you get a bad grade on a project. Your stomach drops. Your face feels hot. That's your lizard brain reacting. But then, you can pause. Take a deep breath. Count to 5. Slowly. This simple act creates a small space where your true power lies. It's where you choose. You can decide not to let anger make you say something you'll regret. You can choose to learn from it, and that's why it matters. Life will always have tough moments, sudden storms, but learning to stay centered, to find that quiet place inside when things heat up, it's more than a trick. It helps you walk through the world with more peace, wisdom, and control over your heart. This helps you keep your inner calm. The name game advantage. Think about it for a moment. Has anyone ever called you by your name, right after you just told them it? and it made you feel something a little brighter. Maybe it's just a name, right? But our minds work in special ways. When someone remembers your name, it's like a quiet bell ringing inside you. It whispers, "I see you. You are here." This simple act makes us feel truly known, even for a moment. This isn't just about memory. It goes deeper. Long ago, thinkers believed a person's name held their very spirit. That's why, through history, great speakers and leaders worked hard to learn names. They knew remembering a name wasn't just a clever trick. It was about showing respect, about seeing the person. Here's the thing. Imagine starting a new class. Everyone feels a bit lost, like a tiny speck. Then your teacher, on day one, looks at each of you and uses your name. Maya, what do you think? Leo, can you explain? Suddenly, that big room feels a little smaller. You feel less like just another face and more like a person who belongs. It's a quiet connection, an anchor dot. So, this isn't about trying to be tricky. It's about something much kinder. It's about the gentle power of simply acknowledging another human. To remember a name is to offer a small, unseen gift. It helps us feel less alone in this big world. It's a gentle way our minds build bridges, one person at a time, making things feel more real, more human, and that's why it matters. How your brain soaks up new stuff. Have you ever stopped to wonder how you actually learn something new? One moment, a fact or skill is unknown. The next, it's part of you, ready to be used. It's a quiet miracle happening inside your head every single day. Your brain isn't just a container. It's a living, breathing landscape that changes with every piece of information you take in. Here's the thing. When you learn, your brain builds new pathways, like carving little trails through a dense forest. These aren't just ideas. They are physical connections between brain cells getting stronger. Imagine learning to ride a bike. At first, it's wobbly and hard. You fall, but each time you try, your brain is busy, making those neural paths a little wider, a little smoother. Soon, you don't even think about it. You just ride. People have thought about this for thousands of years. Ancient Greek thinkers, like Plato, imagined our minds holding ideas, almost like a birdcage full of knowledge, where we reach for what we need. But it's more active. It's not just finding something there. It's creating that something. Every new word, every math problem, every story, each one builds something new inside you. Think about learning the lyrics to your favorite song. The first time you hear it, it just sounds, but you listen again, maybe sing along a few times. Suddenly, the words are there, locked into place. That's your brain working its magic, connecting sounds to meaning, memory to rhythm. It's changing itself, growing. This ability to absorb new information, to reshape your inner world, is one of the most incredible gifts we have. It means you are never truly stuck. You can always grow, always understand more, always become a different, richer version of yourself. It's a quiet promise that the person you are right now is just the beginning of who you can be. Good enough is good. 2. Do you ever get that feeling? The one where nothing you do seems quite good enough, no matter how hard you try. Maybe it's a drawing that doesn't look exactly like the picture in your head, or a test score that isn't a perfect A. We often chase absolute perfection, believing anything less isn't worth it. But here's the thing, that chase can leave us exhausted, frustrated, and sometimes it stops us from finishing anything. This idea of good enough isn't about being lazy or settling. It's a mental trick, a quiet wisdom that helps you keep going. It means knowing when something has met its purpose, when it functions well, and when it's okay to stop polishing and move on. It's about valuing finishing over endless, impossible perfection. Our brains can get stuck on tiny details, but sometimes, simply doing is more important than perfect. Even long ago, wise thinkers understood this. Imagine ancient builders crafting a grand temple or a sturdy home. Every stone wasn't cut to flawless perfection. They were cut to fit well, to be strong, to fulfill their role in the structure. They were good enough to build something lasting and beautiful. If builders waited for every piece to be utterly flawless, nothing would ever be built. This mindset allowed progress and enduring work to happen. Consider a school project, like a research paper or a presentation. You could spend endless hours tweaking every sentence or redesigning slides. You want it to be amazing, but often, those extra hours just make you tired and stressed without making the project much better. Knowing when your paper is clear, well-researched and communicates your ideas, that's when it's good enough. You submit something you're proud of, something that works, and you still have energy for your next task. or to relax. Embracing good enough is an act of self-kindness. It frees you from the crushing weight of impossible standards. It reminds you that your honest effort is valuable, and finishing is an achievement. Sometimes, doing something well enough, rather than perfectly, is the most profound success. It allows you to breathe, to learn, and to grow without the constant pressure of being flawless. The try-again mindset. Have you ever messed up a test, or missed a shot in a game, and felt that heavy drop of disappointment in your stomach? That feeling is real, and it can really sting. But what if there's a quiet, deep strength inside you that whispers, softly, try again? This isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing to stand up after you fall, to learn, and to just keep going. People have known this secret for a long, long time. Imagine ancient artists trying to paint on cave walls, or early builders figuring out how to stack stones. They didn't get it right on the first try. They learned by doing, by seeing what didn't work, and then trying a different way. Ancient thinkers, like the Stoics, believed in facing challenges calmly, knowing life would have bumps. Their message was simple: focus on what you can control, and keep moving forward. One small step. Think about how your own brain works. It's truly amazing. When you try to learn something new, like a difficult guitar chord or a tricky math problem, you make mistakes. Lots of them. But here's the thing. Each one of those mistakes isn't a dead end. It's actually your brain gathering information. It's figuring out what doesn't work. Because of this, your brain actually starts to change and grow. It makes new connections, getting stronger and smarter, ready for the next attempt. It's like a tiny scientist in your head, always experimenting. So the try-again mindset isn't about never feeling down. It's about knowing that those tough moments are part of growing. It's about being gentle with yourself, knowing it's okay to stumble. It's about trusting that quiet voice inside you, the one that believes in your power to learn, to adapt, and to always take that next brave step, even when it feels hard. It's a soft courage, a deep well of hope. Where did my mojo go? Have you ever woken up and just felt flat? Like the spark that usually gets you going. That bit of excited energy just packed its bags and left without saying goodbye. This feeling, this strange emptiness, is often what we mean when we ask, where did my mojo go? It's not just being tired. It's a deeper kind of missing, a feeling that your usual inner drive, your special oomph, has disappeared. For centuries, people have tried to understand this disappearing act. Ancient thinkers, long before doctors knew about brain chemistry, often talked about a life force or an inner spirit that powered us. They believed that when this force felt weak, everything else did too. It's like how a phone battery drains. When it's full, you're scrolling, texting, playing. But when it's low, everything slows down. Apps crash, and soon, it just goes dark. Our mojo is a bit like that charge. It's the energy that lets our minds and hearts work at their best. Here's the thing. Sometimes, when you've been working on a big school project for weeks, or practicing for a game every single day, you can suddenly hit a wall. One morning, the thought of opening that textbook or lacing up your sneakers feels impossible. It's not that you don't want to succeed anymore, but the desire to do the work just isn't there. That's your mojo whispering it needs a break, or maybe it's telling you something needs to change. So, when that feeling hits, it's not a sign that something is terribly wrong with you. It's a quiet signal from deep inside, asking you to pause. It's a chance to listen to what your inner self truly needs. Maybe rest, maybe a change, or maybe just a moment of quiet reflection to find that spark again. It reminds us that our inner fire, like any fire, needs care and fuel to keep burning bright. Your focus playlist power. Have you ever tried to really focus on something important, like a tough math problem or writing a story, but your mind just drifts? It's like trying to hold onto water. It slips right through your fingers. But what if certain sounds could be a gentle anchor, helping your mind stay put? This is the power of a focus playlist. It's not just background noise. This is about choosing specific sounds that softly guide your brain. Long ago, even wise Greek thinkers like Plato noticed this. They didn't have streaming music, but they understood that rhythm and melody could deeply change how we felt and thought. They saw music as a way to bring order to the soul, to calm restless thoughts or help with deep concentration. This is an old wisdom. Here's an example. Imagine you're in a really noisy room, maybe a busy school hallway. It's almost impossible to read a book, right? Your brain tries to sort through all the chatter, but if you put on a carefully chosen playlist, maybe soft instrumental music, or gentle rain sounds suddenly. That outside noise seems to fade. It's not that the hallway became silent. It's your brain grabbing onto the steady, calming sounds. This creates a protective bubble, a space for your thoughts to settle. Your mind gets a quiet push towards the task, and that's why it matters. This isn't a trick to make you super smart. It's a tool, a quiet friend you can call on, knowing you can build this personal haven of sound. A place where your mind can breathe and settle, gives you gentle control. It reminds you that even when the world feels loud, you have a way to find a calm center within yourself, guiding your thoughts towards purpose and peace. It's a small, powerful act for your busy brain. Jot it down, lock it in. Have you ever had a brilliant idea, a strong feeling, or a truth click in your mind, only for it to slip away moments later, like water through your fingers? It's a strange, quiet sadness when something important feels lost before you can truly hold it. Our minds are busy, a whirlwind of thoughts, and sometimes the most important ones get swept away. But here's the thing, you can give those precious thoughts a home. Simply writing something down, moving it from the swirling chaos of your head onto a page, does something powerful. It's not just about remembering later, though that's key. It's about making that thought real, giving it shape and presence. It's like catching a firefly in a jar. Instead of just seeing its fleeting glow, think about people from long ago. Ancient thinkers, and even monks in quiet monasteries, didn't just write to keep records. They wrote to think. They put their questions, their wisdom, onto scrolls and papers, not just to save them, but to truly see them, to make them solid. The act of forming those letters, of watching words appear, helped them understand. It was a way to truly lock in what they felt and knew. Imagine you're trying to solve a tough problem, or maybe you're dreaming up what you want to do after high school. If you just keep those thoughts floating in your head, they can feel blurry, hard to grasp. But if you sit down and write out the steps, or even sketch out your ideas, suddenly those fuzzy thoughts become clearer. They become a plan, a map, something real. It transforms a scattered wish into a tangible direction. So, when you take the time to jot down a feeling, an idea, a memory, you're doing more than just remembering. You are giving your inner world a voice, a physical presence. You are honoring your own thoughts and feelings, telling yourself they matter enough to be captured. It's a gentle, powerful way to take hold of your own mind, turning fleeting whispers into lasting echoes. This quiet act helps you understand yourself better, one written word at a time. It's okay to not know, isn't? It's funny how we sometimes feel a huge pressure to always have the answers. Like if someone asks something, and we don't know, it means we've somehow failed. But here's the thing, admitting I don't know isn't a weakness. It's actually a brave and very smart thing to say. When we pretend to know something we don't, we close off our chance to truly learn. We miss out on real discovery. This isn't a new idea either. Long ago, a very wise man named Socrates, from ancient Greece, said something powerful. He believed the smartest people are those humble enough to understand how much they don't know. That understanding, that honest moment, is exactly where true learning begins. It's a starting point, not an end. Imagine you're in science class, trying to build a tiny robot. You might look at the parts and think, I have no idea how these go together. That feeling of not knowing isn't a wall. It's the starting line. It makes you open the instructions, ask your teacher, or watch a video. It pushes you to explore, to try, and sometimes, to fail a little before you succeed a lot. It turns confusion into curiosity. So, when that feeling hits, that moment where you realize you don't have all the information, remember, it's okay. More than okay, actually. It's an invitation to be curious, to ask questions without shame, and to bravely step into the unknown. Because in that honest space of not knowing, that's where true understanding starts to grow. It's a gentle reminder that life is less about having all the answers, and more about loving the journey of finding them. Picture this, winning your day, have woken up and just felt ready, like deep down, you knew you could handle what came your way. This feeling isn't luck, it's a mental trick, a quiet way your mind sets the tone for your whole day. It's like giving your brain a secret boost. Think about athletes before a big game. They close their eyes. They picture making a perfect shot or scoring the winning goal. They see it. They feel it. This isn't just wishing. It's their mind preparing, telling their body what to do, building a path to success. This idea isn't new. Ancient thinkers knew this power. The The Stoics, for example, were wise people from long ago. They focused on things you can control. You can't control the weather or someone's mood, but you can control how you start your day. They would wake up and think about challenges and how they would face them calmly. It helped them feel strong inside. So, how does this work for you? When your alarm rings, don't just hit snooze. Pause. Think of one small thing you want to do well today. Maybe it's understanding a tricky math problem or being kind to someone. Picture yourself doing it, even a tiny success. It's like drawing a map in your head. This isn't about making everything perfect. It's about building a solid feeling inside, a quiet confidence that you can handle things. It changes how you breathe, how you stand, how you talk. It helps you feel steady and grounded. This daily mental warm-up isn't about avoiding hard stuff. It's about knowing you have a calm strength to meet what comes, moment by moment. That's how you gently, yet powerfully, win your day. Tiny steps to big achievements. Have you ever looked at a really big goal, like learning a new language, or writing a long story, or even just cleaning your entire messy room, and felt completely overwhelmed? Like it was just too much, too hard, impossible. It's a common feeling, a heavy weight that stops us before we even start. But here's the thing. The human mind has a wonderful trick for dealing with these giants. It's about taking the huge thing and breaking it into tiny, almost invisible pieces. Think about it this way. A massive mountain isn't climbed in one leap. It's one step, then another, then another. Ancient thinkers, like the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, talked about how a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This isn't just old wisdom. It's how our brains are wired to achieve great things. When you make a goal so small it feels almost silly, your mind says, okay, I can do that. Imagine you want to learn to play the guitar. Trying to play a whole song perfectly on day one feels impossible. But if your goal for today is just to hold the pick correctly for 5 minutes, or to simply learn one chord shape, that feels doable, right? That tiny win builds confidence. It's like building a giant Lego castle. You don't dump all the pieces on the floor and expect a castle to appear. You follow the instructions, piece by piece, brick by brick. Each small connection leads to the next, and suddenly, you have something amazing. And that's why it matters. Every big achievement, every world-changing discovery, every personal victory, no matter how grand, started with a single, small, deliberate action. It's a quiet courage to just begin, even when you don't see the end. It reminds us that our biggest dreams aren't out of reach. They're just waiting for us to take that very first, gentle step. And each step, no matter how small, is a testament to your own strength. What's that feeling called? Have you ever felt a strange swirl inside you? A mix of things you couldn't quite put into words. It's like a quiet hum, or maybe a restless flutter. And you know it's something, but the name just isn't there. This feeling, this mystery, is a whisper from your own mind, telling you something important. And here's the thing. Trying to find the right name for it is one of the quietest, most powerful mental tricks we have. Long ago, even ancient thinkers, like those in Greece, realized how important it was to understand what goes on inside us. They believed that knowing yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, was the very start of being wise. They saw that when you could name an emotion, it didn't feel so wild or confusing. It became something you could look at, something you could maybe even gently hold in your mind. It's about shining a small light into the dark corners of your inner world. Think about a time when you were waiting for a big moment, maybe a tryout for a team, or waiting for a friend to text you back after an argument. Your stomach might feel tight, your heart might race a little, and you could feel a buzz of both excitement and fear. Is it just nervous, or is it a special kind of hopeful dread or eager apprehension? When you can say, this is a blend of hope and a little bit of fear for what might happen. Suddenly, it's not just a giant, overwhelming cloud. It becomes two separate parts you can understand. It's like seeing a blurry shape in the fog. Then suddenly, the fog lifts, and you can name it. Oh, it's a tree, not a monster. Giving a specific name to a feeling, especially a complex one, changes how it feels in your heart. It makes it real, but also a little less scary, a little less powerful over you. It's a small act of quiet bravery, really, to sit with that unknown feeling and try to understand its true name. And that's why it matters, because understanding your own true feelings is the first gentle step towards finding more peace and feeling truly connected to yourself, even when the world outside seems confusing. Your superpower breath ever feel like your brain is a runaway train, thoughts speeding too fast, or your heart starts doing a drum solo when things get overwhelming? We all have those moments, but here's the thing, you carry a quiet superpower, always with you. It's your breath, more than just air to stay alive. It's a secret remote control for your inner world. For thousands of years, people across different cultures understood this. Ancient thinkers noticed how a frantic breath mirrored a frantic mind. They saw how a slow, steady one brought peace, even in tough times. This simple act, they realized, was a direct line to calming your nervous system. It's like a dimmer switch for your feelings, right inside you. Here's an example. Imagine you're about to take a big test, and your stomach feels fluttery. Your mind buzzes with doubts. Instead of letting that feeling take over, try this. Take 3 deep, slow breaths. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Hold it. Then breathe out, even slower through your mouth. What happens? That tight knot in your stomach starts to soften. The buzzing in your head begins to quiet. You're not changing the test. You're just changing how your body and mind react. You're giving yourself a little pause button, and that's why it matters. This incredible tool isn't something you need to buy. It's always with you, a constant, gentle power. In a world that often feels loud, your breath is a quiet anchor. It reminds you that even when everything feels out of control, you can always come back to this one steady rhythm. Find calm within yourself. It's your personal superpower, ready to help you function, one quiet breath at a time. The Thank You Brain Boost. Have you ever noticed a quiet hum inside you when someone genuinely thanks you? Or felt a soft warmth spread through your chest when you truly appreciate something small? Here's the thing, that feeling isn't just politeness. It's a real, powerful mental trick your brain performs. When we feel gratitude, even for little things, our brains actually change. They release chemicals that make us feel happier, more peaceful, and less stressed. It's like a tiny, gentle spark lighting up pathways inside your mind, helping you see the good. People have known about this for a very long time. Ancient thinkers, like the wise people of Rome, often talked about how important it was to be thankful. They believed that seeing the good in life, even when things were hard, was key to a happy spirit. It wasn't just about manners. It was about shaping your inner world and finding strength there. Think about it this way. Imagine you're working on a big group project for school. You've put in extra effort, staying up late to finish your part. Then, during the presentation, one of your teammates looks at you and says, "Hey, thanks so much for getting that done. You really helped us out." That simple thank you isn't just words. It tells your brain you're valued, that your effort mattered. You might feel a little lift, a sense of quiet pride, a connection. That's your brain's way of rewarding you, of boosting your mood, and even your confidence. It's a ripple effect, a positive loop. So, the power of a thank you, whether you're giving it or receiving it, goes deeper than just kindness. It's a gentle reminder that we are all connected, that our actions touch others, and that there is always something, however small, to be grateful for. It's a quiet strength, a subtle way we keep our minds healthy and our spirits full, even when the world feels loud. Changing your uh-oh to aha. Have you ever felt that quick, sharp twist in your stomach? That sudden uh-oh feeling when something goes wrong, when a plan falls apart, or you make a mistake. It's a moment most of us dread, a heavy cloud that can make us want to just give up. But what if we could learn to see those uh-oh moments, not as failures, but as doorways? What if they could actually lead us to a brilliant, clear aha? Here's the thing, that uh-oh feeling is a signal, a little alarm bell. It tells you something isn't quite right, or that you've stumbled. But it doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be the very start of a new discovery, a chance to learn something deep and meaningful. This isn't just a new idea. People have understood this for ages. Think about some of the greatest thinkers from history, even ancient ones like the Greek philosophers. They taught that asking questions, even after a stumble, was the real path to understanding. They saw mistakes not as dead ends, but as crucial steps on a winding path, each one holding a hidden lesson. Imagine you're trying to build a really cool paper airplane. You fold it carefully, you launch it, and uh-oh, it nosedives straight to the ground. For a second, you might feel frustrated, but instead of throwing it away, you pick it up, you look at it, you ask, what went wrong? Maybe the wings are too heavy, or the tail isn't balanced. You make a tiny adjustment, launch it again, and this time, aha, it glides perfectly across the room. That nosedive wasn't a failure, It was information. It showed you exactly what needed to change. This isn't about ignoring when things go wrong. It's about changing how you meet those moments. It's about understanding that deep down, a challenge isn't just a block in your path. It's an invitation. It's a quiet whisper asking you to look closer, to think differently. And when you do, when you let that uh-oh fade into a curious question, you often find a beautiful aha waiting. It's a gentle kind of wisdom, a calm strength that reminds us every misstep holds the seed of discovery, of learning, and ultimately, of a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. Picking the best path forward. Have you ever faced a moment where you just didn't know what to do next? Maybe it was about choosing a class, or how to talk to a friend, or even what to do after school. It's like standing at a fork in the road, and you feel the weight of each direction. This feeling, this act of picking the best path forward, isn't just about making a decision. It's about understanding that every choice, no matter how small, gently guides you. For a long time, people have thought about this. Ancient thinkers, like those in Greece, believed that living a good life was less about luck and more about the choices you made every single day. They called it living with virtue, making choices that lead to what's truly good. It wasn't about having all the answers, but about trying your best to choose what felt right, what aligned with the kind of person you wanted to be. And that's why it matters. Think about a river. It doesn't just rush aimlessly. It flows, and as it meets obstacles, it finds a way around them, always moving forward. Sometimes it carves a new path, sometimes it goes around. It's always picking its best way, even if it's just a tiny bend. Your brain works a little like that. When you think about a tough decision, your mind tries to see around corners, to imagine what might happen if you choose this way or that way. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking a moment to feel what each path means inside you. So, here's the thing. You don't always have to see the whole journey. Sometimes, picking the best path forward just means choosing the next step with intention, with a quiet hope. It's about trusting that small inner voice that points toward kindness, toward growth, toward what feels true for you. Each path you choose, each step you take, slowly builds the person you are becoming. And that's a powerful thought to carry with you. Oops, what now? You know that feeling when things just go wrong, when a plan suddenly falls apart, or you make a tiny mistake that feels huge. Maybe you spilled juice on your homework, or said the wrong thing to a friend, or totally messed up a line in a class presentation. For a moment, your brain might just freeze. It's like a little error message pops up, and you're stuck, wondering, oops, what now? Here's the thing. That brief moment of shock or confusion is actually a powerful mental trick. It's your brain hitting a reset button. Instead of panicking or giving up right away, that pause gives you a chance to breathe, to step back, even if it's only for a second. It's a chance to stop, look at the situation, and then decide what to do next. For a very long time, people have thought about this. Wise people, long ago, understood that life is full of unexpected twists. They realized that while we can't always control what happens to us, we always have control over how we react. That's where your real strength lies. Imagine you're trying to build a really cool tower out of Legos, a complex one you've been planning for ages. You're almost done, and then, without warning, a piece breaks off, or the whole thing wobbles and collapses. Your heart might sink. For a split second, you just stare at the pile of bricks. But that moment isn't the end. It's a chance to see what went wrong. Was the base too weak? Did you rush a section? This might work for you. You can choose to be upset, or you can choose to see it as a chance to build something even stronger, maybe even more creative, with the lessons you just learned. So, when those oops moments happen, and they will, remember this. They aren't signs of failure. They are just part of the journey. They are gentle reminders that we are human, that mistakes happen, and that our power isn't in avoiding them, but in how we respond. It's about being kind to yourself, learning what you can, and then finding your way forward. It's about choosing to start again, even if it's just one small step. The walk-away wisdom. Have you ever faced something so frustrating, so confusing, that your mind felt like a tangled ball of yarn? Maybe a tough homework problem, a disagreement with a friend, or a choice you couldn't make. In those moments, we often feel like we have to push harder, think faster. But what if the wisest thing, the most powerful thing, is actually to walk away? This isn't about giving up, not at all. This is an ancient wisdom, known for ages. Think about old philosophers by a quiet stream, not forcing answers but letting thoughts drift. Or scientists stuck on a problem, who took a walk, and suddenly, the answer appeared. Here's how it works. When our brains are overloaded or stressed, our vision narrows. We can't see the whole picture. It's like trying to read a map with your nose pressed against it. All you see are lines, no real direction. But if you take a few steps back, hold the map at arm's length, suddenly the roads make sense. You see connections, the path forward. Your brain does something similar. When you step away, your subconscious mind, the part working behind the scenes, processes things differently. It sorts, connects. It lets go of the stress that was clouding your judgment. So, the next time something feels overwhelming, try this mental trick. Give yourself permission to step back. Go for a short walk. Listen to music. Look out the window. Just breathe. It's a way of telling your mind, it's okay. You don't have to solve this right now. Often, when you return, a quiet sense of clarity will be waiting. This isn't weakness. It's a profound strength, a gentle trust in your own inner wisdom. Sometimes, the most direct path to understanding is to first give yourself the space to truly see. Talking it out without blowing up. Have you ever felt that hot rush when someone says something that gets under your skin? Your jaw tightens, and you just want to yell or run. That moment is a crossroads. Do we explode, or do we find another way? Talking it out without blowing up means sharing your feelings, even big ones, without hurting others. It's finding your voice in a storm, using it to calm, not to rage. Think of a wise gardener. They don't just yank thorny weeds, they carefully prune and shape them gently. People have wrestled with this for centuries. Ancient thinkers, like those in Greece, knew true strength was about self-control, not just toughness. They taught dialogue, meaning through speech. It was two people building understanding with words. They knew words held power, to heal, to connect, and to change hearts, not just to wound. Imagine you and a friend building a Lego castle, then disagreeing. One wants to follow instructions, the other has a wild idea. Instead of throwing pieces, you stop. You might say, I'm frustrated. I want this castle perfect, and I see it differently. Then, truly listen to their idea. Maybe it's not so wild, or you find a better way together. Being gentle when upset takes real courage. When we talk through troubles, sharing our truth without it becoming a weapon, we protect something precious. We protect our connection with others, and deeper, our own inner peace. It's a quiet strength, showing respect for yourself and them. Understanding is always more powerful than anger. Gentle words build bridges where shouts leave ruins. Small steps to awesome routines. Have you ever felt like there's something huge you want to change, but it just seems too big? Like climbing a mountain without knowing where to start. That feeling is real. But here's the thing. Awesome routines, the ones that truly help us, don't start with giant leaps. They begin with little, almost invisible steps. It's about doing one small, good thing, and then doing it again tomorrow, and again. Think about the great thinkers from long ago, like Aristotle. He said we are what we repeatedly do, not what we try or plan, but what we actually do, day after day. It's like how a river carves a canyon, not with one huge flood, but with countless drops of water, over a very long time. Each drop seems tiny on its own. Imagine you want to learn guitar. Playing a whole song perfectly on day one feels impossible, right? But what if you just pick it up for 5 minutes? Learn one chord, then tomorrow, do that again, maybe learn another. Slowly, those 5 minutes build up. Those single chords turn into melodies. You barely notice the effort, but the progress becomes undeniable. It's the same with waking up earlier. Don't set it back an hour, just 5 minutes earlier for a week. See how that feels. This is a gentle truth. Our minds can feel overwhelmed by the big picture, but when we offer it just one small, manageable task, it can find its footing. There's a quiet power in these consistent, tiny choices. They aren't just about finishing a task. They are about building a pathway inside yourself, a pathway of strength and calm. Each small step is a whisper of kindness to your future self, shaping the person you are becoming, one gentle moment at a time. Ditching the stuff that doesn't help. Have you ever felt like you're carrying too much? Not just books, but something heavier inside your head or heart. Sometimes, we hold on to things that don't actually help us. Thoughts that make us sad, worries that never come true, or friendships that drain us instead of boosting us. Here's the thing. Our minds are powerful, but they can get cluttered. Just like your room gets messy, your inner world can fill with stuff that just takes up space. This idea isn't new. Ancient thinkers often talked about focusing on what truly matters. They believed in letting go of things that caused unnecessary pain or worry. They knew that a clear mind was a happy mind. Think about it like this. Imagine you're walking with a backpack. At first, it's light, but then you start adding rocks. Maybe a rock of anger from a small fight, a rock of fear about a test, a rock of trying to please everyone. Soon, your backpack is so heavy, you can barely move. Each rock might seem small, but together, they drag you down. Ditching the stuff that doesn't help means looking inside that backpack. It's about asking yourself, does this rock make me stronger, or just heavier? If it's just weight, it's okay to gently set it down. This isn't always easy, and that's okay. It takes courage to look at what's bothering you. But when you identify those heavy thoughts, those draining feelings, and choose to release them, something beautiful happens. You create space. Space for peace, for joy, for who you truly are. It's a quiet freedom, like breathing easy again after holding your breath for too long. It helps you see yourself more clearly, without all the extra noise. That's why it matters deeply. If it takes two, just do it. Have you ever faced something so big, so overwhelming, that it felt like you'd need two of you to even begin? Maybe it's a huge school project, or a room that looks like a tornado hit it. Your mind sees the whole mountain and just freezes. It cries, too much. I can't do all of that. So often, we do nothing. But here's a quiet truth about our minds. Sometimes, the trick isn't to conquer the whole mountain. It's to simply take one step, even if the task feels like it has 100 parts, or takes 2 people to tackle. The magic lies in just doing the first tiny thing. Forget the rest. Just the first dot. Think about ancient thinkers. They knew grand ideas don't happen overnight. They grow from small beginnings. It's like an artist starting a huge painting. They don't just stare at the blank canvas. They mix one color, draw one line, do one small thing. Imagine a huge report, do pages of writing. Your mind might shut down. Instead of thinking I have to write 10 pages, try this trick. I just need to open the document. That's it. Or, I'll just write the first sentence. Then, I'll find one source. Each small step gets you past the freeze. It's like gathering ingredients for a big meal. You get the flour, the eggs, the milk. When you break something down, it stops being a giant, scary monster. It becomes a series of tiny, manageable moments. Each moment you complete, no matter how small, whispers to your mind, you can do this. It builds quiet strength inside you. So, when things feel too big, remember this powerful idea. Just pick one small thing, and just do it. Watch how those tiny actions, like stones building a path, lead you all the way through. Planning your awesome day ahead of woken up, feeling your day pulling you along, like a fast river without a paddle. Many of us know that feeling, lost even before our feet hit the floor. What if a quiet mental shift could change that? Here's the thing, just thinking ahead a few moments can make a huge difference. It's not about planning every minute or making a giant list. Instead, it's about setting an intention, a gentle whisper to yourself about what truly matters today. What feeling do you want to carry? What small step brings you peace? Long ago, wise thinkers understood purpose. They spoke about living each day on purpose, not letting life just happen. Imagine a sculptor with stone, seeing the form inside before lifting a chisel, not controlling the stone, but deciding what to create. That's a quiet power, isn't it? Think about building with LED. If you just grab pieces, it often turns into a messy pile. But if you first imagine what you want, the pieces fall into place more easily. You get direction, a quiet confidence. Your day can be like that. Just a few moments imagining your path can create a sense of calm. This small act of thinking ahead brings powerful stillness. It's like finding a steady anchor for your spirit, even when the world feels like a storm. You're not stopping the wind, but choosing how you stand. You're deciding your day will have a gentle rhythm, shaped by you. So, before you rush into tomorrow, pause. Ask yourself, what small spark of purpose do I want to light today? This simple question, held softly, makes all the difference. It helps you feel peaceful, more ready. You choose your path, and that choice brings deep, quiet strength. What went well? What can be better? Have you ever looked back at your day, maybe as you're falling asleep, and thought about moments that just happened? What if we paused, not to judge ourselves harshly, but to truly see? This is about a quiet kind of bravery. It's asking two simple questions: what things went right, and what could have been a little different, a little better. It's not about feeling bad, but about learning. It's how we grow, like a plant reaching for the sun, always stretching, always changing. Think about wise people from long, long ago. They didn't have cell phones or video games, but they spent a lot of time just thinking. People like Socrates, a really old Greek philosopher, talked about knowing yourself. He believed that truly understanding who you are, your strengths and your mistakes, was the most important journey. It's like mapping out your own inner world. Imagine you're playing a video game or a sports match. After it's over, what do coaches do? They watch the replay, right? They point out the amazing plays that worked, and then they talk about the moments where you could have passed sooner or moved differently. They do this so next time, you play even better. Our lives are a bit like that. Maybe you helped a friend when they were down, that went well. Maybe you snapped at someone without thinking, that could be better next time, with a pause before speaking. Here's the thing, every single day gives us chances to learn about ourselves. It's not about being perfect, because nobody is. It's about being present, being honest, and gently guiding ourselves forward. Every time we ask these questions, we build a stronger, kinder us for tomorrow. It's a quiet promise we make to ourselves, to keep trying, to keep understanding, and to keep shining a little brighter. Protecting your yes energy. Have you ever felt completely drained, like your battery just hit zero, even though you didn't do much? It's a heavy, tired feeling. Every time you say yes to something, you're giving away a piece of your energy. This isn't just physical power, it's your mental focus, emotional space, your precious time. We only have so much of that energy each day. Saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else, even if we don't realize it. Ancient thinkers, thousands of years ago, understood this idea of limits. They knew that a person's attention and effort were valuable, like a treasure. They didn't call it yes energy, but they talked about living thoughtfully, choosing where to put your focus. It was about knowing what truly mattered to your spirit. They saw that if you scattered your energy everywhere, you'd end up with nothing solid. Here's the thing. Imagine you have a special, invisible cup inside you. That cup holds all your yes energy for the day. Every time a friend asks for help, or a teacher assigns extra work, or even when you just scroll online for hours, a little bit of your yes energy pours out. If you keep pouring it out without checking how much is left, your cup will quickly be empty. And an empty cup means you feel tired, grumpy, and unable to do the things you truly care about, like your favorite hobby or just resting. So, protecting your yes energy means being mindful of your cup. It's about pausing before you answer and asking yourself, do I have enough in my cup for this right now? What will this yes cost me? It's a quiet act of kindness to yourself. It reminds you that your feelings, your time, and your peace are truly precious. And sometimes, saying a gentle no is the most loving thing you can do for your own heart. It's how you keep your spirit full. When to say enough is enough. Have you ever felt a heavy sigh escape your lips, or a quiet weariness settle deep inside you? Maybe it's after a long school day, or too many hours glued to a screen, or when friendship drama feels like a tangled knot in your chest. That feeling, that whisper of exhaustion, is a message. It's your mind, your whole self, gently saying, I need a break. This is enough. Learning to listen to this whisper is one of the most powerful mental tricks you can learn. It's about protecting your inner spark, your energy. Think about ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosophers who lived thousands of years ago. They talked about finding balance in life, about knowing your limits. They believed true wisdom meant understanding when to push, but also when to gently, firmly, step back. It wasn't about weakness. It was about smart living. Imagine you have a favorite mug, the one you always use for hot chocolate. You can fill it up to the brim, perfectly, and it's wonderful. But if you keep pouring, just a little more, and then a little more, what happens? It overflows. Chocolate spills everywhere, making a mess. Your mental energy is a lot like that mug. You can fill it with learning, with friends, with fun, and that's good. But if you keep adding without a pause, you'll feel stressed, or just plain tired. Saying enough is not giving up. It's choosing to take care of your own precious self. It's like knowing when to stop pouring the hot chocolate so you can actually enjoy what's in the mug. It's a quiet act of courage, a promise to yourself that your well-being matters. And in that choice, there's a deep peace, a strength that helps you face things with a clearer mind and a lighter heart. Your personal reason to keep going. Have you ever truly stopped to wonder what pulls you forward each day? Not just getting out of bed, but really moving through life, even when things feel tough or confusing. It's a quiet question many people ask, deep inside. What is that unseen force, that inner spark, that makes you keep going? Here's the thing, it's not always a grand plan or a huge dream. Sometimes, it's much simpler, much more personal. Think about a tiny seed. It pushes through hard ground to find the light. It doesn't know why it does this, only that it must. For us, that must is often tied to meaning. Long ago, thinkers like Aristotle believed we naturally seek a life with purpose. Later, in hard times, people found strength focusing on what still mattered. Family love, or a hope for the future. Imagine a painter, lost in their art, pouring their heart onto the canvas. Or a friend practicing a skill, not for fame, but for the challenge, feeling better each time. Maybe it's the quiet joy of helping someone, the comfort of a pet, or a sunny morning. These are your anchors, small, powerful truths connecting you to the world, to yourself, to tomorrow. So, what is your anchor for you? What is that small, glowing reason that whispers, keep going? It might be a person, a passion, a memory, or just the quiet beauty of a sunset. Finding it isn't about being perfect or always happy. It's about recognizing that gentle, persistent pull inside you. It's about knowing there's always a reason, big or small, to keep shining your own light. Focus bursts and chill breaks. Do you ever try to focus really hard, but your mind just drifts away? Maybe you're staring at a textbook, but the words blur, and your thoughts are on something else entirely. It's a common feeling, and it's okay. Our brains aren't built to run full speed all the time. They need a different rhythm. Here's the thing, concentrating for too long can actually make us less productive. Instead, imagine working in focus bursts. These are short, intense periods where you pour all your attention into one task. Maybe for 20 or 30 minutes, you really lock in. Then, after that burst, you take a chill break. This isn't just a pause, it's a moment to truly step away. Let your mind wander, stretch, grab a drink, or just stare out the window. Think about how artists or writers work. They don't sit for 8 hours straight. They create for a while, then step back, look with fresh eyes, maybe walk around, and then return. Even old philosophers understood this. They'd spend time in deep thought, then walk in gardens, talk with friends, letting their minds process and recover. They knew true insight often comes not from endless pushing, but from the quiet moments between efforts. It's a bit like playing a video game. You focus hard on a tricky level, right? Your eyes are glued, your fingers flying. But after you beat it, or even if you get stuck, you put the controller down for a bit, grab a snack, talk to someone, or just zone out. When you come back, your brain feels clearer, your reflexes sharper. That's the power of the chill break. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being smart with your energy. It's about being kind to your brain. By honoring these natural cycles of intense focus and real rest, we learn to work with our minds, not against them. And that's why it matters. You do better work, feel less tired, more at peace, knowing you gave your mind the space it needed to breathe. The Just Start secret. Have you ever stared at a blank page, or a messy room, or even just a text message you needed to reply to, and felt this heavy weight, this wall in front of you, like you just couldn't begin? It's a feeling we all know. A deep hesitation that keeps us stuck for hours, or even days. Here's the thing, often the biggest trick our mind plays on us is making the start feel like the whole thing. But what if the secret isn't about finishing, or even doing most of it? What if the real magic is just in the first tiny step? We call this the Just Start secret. It's about breaking that big, scary task into something so small, so simple, you almost can't refuse it. Thinkers across time, from ancient times to now, have watched humans struggle with this. They noticed that we often know what we should do, but we get caught in a kind of mental quicksand before we even lift a finger. It's like our minds build a huge fence around the starting line, but once you step over that first small hurdle, the next ones don't seem so tall. Imagine you have a huge science project due. Your brain screams, too much work, I don't know where to begin. That's the wall. Instead of trying to build the whole volcano in your head, just tell yourself, I will open my notebook to a fresh page, or I will find one picture online related to my topic. That's it, just that one small thing. And you might find that once the notebook is open, writing down volcano project doesn't seem so hard. Then maybe you list two ideas. See, the inertia, that feeling of being stuck, starts to melt away. It's a gentle whisper to your overwhelmed mind. It says, you don't have to conquer the mountain right now. Just put on one hiking boot. This trick isn't about being perfect or getting everything done at once. It's about remembering the quiet power in a single, small action. It's about being kind to yourself and understanding that even the longest journey starts with just one step. And that first step is often the bravest, most important one of all. It can shift your whole day, your whole outlook, from heavy dread to a quiet sense of progress. Being right here, right now. Have you ever felt like your mind is a million miles away, even when your body is right where it needs to be? Maybe you're sitting in class, but you're thinking about dinner, or that thing you said yesterday, or what you need to do tomorrow. It's like your thoughts are pulling you in every direction, away from the very moment you're living. But what if you could gently bring your attention back? What if you could just be here, completely, right now? This is the simple, yet profound, idea of being present. It means truly noticing the exact moment you are in, without getting lost in the past's shadows or the future's worries. It's about anchoring yourself to this one precious second. Wise people throughout history, from ancient Greek philosophers to Zen masters, have talked about how important this is. They knew that a lot of our stress comes from not being present. They taught that true peace often starts when we learn to focus on what is happening right now. It's not about ignoring problems, but about giving your mind a quiet place to rest, even for a little while. Here's an example. Think about eating your favorite snack, maybe a chocolate chip cookie. Often, we just pop it in our mouth and swallow, already thinking about the next bite or what we'll do after. But what if you took just one bite and truly paid attention? Notice the crisp edge, the soft middle, the way the chocolate melts, the sweetness, the tiny salt. If you really focus, that one bite can feel like a whole experience. You're not just eating a cookie, you are experiencing it. This practice, this choice to be fully present, is a quiet power. It's a way to truly live each second, instead of just letting time pass you by. It helps you see the small beauties and feel the calm within yourself, making you stronger and more connected to your own life. It's a gentle reminder that this moment, right now, is a gift. Speaking good stuff over yourself. Have you ever stopped to listen to the quiet voice inside your head? The one that talks to you when you're alone, when you're facing something tough, or even when you just wake up. This voice, your inner voice, is a powerful thing. Speaking good stuff over yourself means choosing what that voice says. It means telling yourself kind words, believing in your strength, and reminding yourself of your worth. It's not about being fake or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, here's the thing. It's about actively choosing to believe in the good parts of you, even when things are hard. It's about building yourself up from the inside, piece by piece. Think about ancient stories or wise sayings from long ago. People have always known that words carry weight. Philosophers, even thousands of years ago, understood that our thoughts shape our world. They believed what you say to yourself and about yourself can truly change your path. It's like planting seeds. If you plant good seeds, you get good things growing. Imagine you have a big presentation in class, and your stomach is doing flips. The voice inside might say, "You're going to mess up. Everyone will laugh." But what if you stopped that thought? What if you whispered to yourself, "I've practiced this. I know my stuff. I can do this." This simple shift can actually calm your nerves and give you strength. It's like being your own best coach, cheering you on. And that's why it matters. Our minds are amazing places, full of untold power. When we consciously decide to fill them with hope and belief, we aren't just saying words. We are building resilience. We are creating a safer, kinder space within ourselves. It's a quiet act of courage, a gentle way to protect your spirit. It helps you stand a little taller, even when the world feels heavy. And in that simple act, a deep and lasting peace can grow. Your brain's recharge time. Have you ever felt completely drained after a long day of school, or even just after solving a really tough problem? That heavy feeling in your head, like your thoughts are moving through thick, sticky mud. Here's the thing, your amazing brain, just like your phone, needs time to recharge. It's not just about sleeping, though good sleep is key. It's also those quiet moments we find during the day. Think of your brain like a powerful battery. When you're constantly learning, thinking hard, or reacting to the world, your brain uses so much energy, push without a break, and it slows down. Thoughts get fuzzy, focus becomes harder, Even wise thinkers from ancient times understood this need. They knew people couldn't just keep going. They talked about quiet time, a space for simply being. Imagine a car driving for hours. It needs to pull over, cool down, get gas. Your brain is like that car. It needs moments to just sit in neutral, or even turn off for a little while. When you gaze out the window for a few minutes, or listen to favorite music without doing anything else, or just walk in silence, those are your brain's pit stops. This isn't being lazy. This isn't wasting time. This is your brain actively recovering. It's quietly sorting memories, ideas, and feelings from the day, tucking them away. It's getting ready for what comes next, like a backstage crew preparing for the next act. Allowing your brain these quiet, gentle times is a real act of kindness to yourself. It makes your mind clearer, your focus sharper, and even helps you feel happier. So, next time you notice that heavy, tired feeling, remember, it's not a weakness. It's your incredible brain gently asking for a moment of peace, and giving it that peace lets you come back stronger, ready to truly shine. Food that makes you smart. Have you ever really thought about what happens when you eat? It's more than just feeling full or getting energy for sports. Here's the thing, every single bite of food you take, it becomes a part of you. Not just your muscles or your skin, but also the very core of your brain, the place where all your thoughts and feelings live. It's like magic, but it's real science. Our minds, these amazing machines that let us dream and learn, they are literally built from the food we choose. Imagine trying to build a complex, super fast computer with broken pieces, or fuel it with the wrong kind of power. It just wouldn't work well, right? For centuries, people have sort of known this. Ancient thinkers would talk about how a strong body helps you think clearly. They saw a connection, a quiet truth that what goes into your mouth shapes what comes out of your mind. So, what kind of fuel helps our brain truly shine? Think about colorful fruits like blueberries, packed with tiny helpers that keep your brain sharp, or foods with healthy fats, like the ones in salmon or avocados. These are like the smooth, essential wiring for your brain's circuits. They help your brain cells talk to each other quickly and clearly. It's not about magic pills. It's about giving your brain the right building blocks, day after day, meal after meal. When you choose a healthy snack over something full of sugar that just gives a quick, fake boost, you're not just feeding your body. You're giving your future self a gift. You're building a stronger memory, a clearer focus for tough subjects, and even a calmer spirit when things get stressful. It's a quiet act of kindness to yourself, a powerful choice for your own amazing mind, and that's why it matters. Every choice about food is also a choice about who you become, how brightly your inner light can shine. Shake it out. Clear your head. Have you ever felt your mind get all jumbled, like 1,000 thoughts fighting for space? It's a heavy feeling, right? Sometimes, when our heads get too full, the best thing is to use our bodies. This trick is simple. Shake it out. Not just your hands, but your whole self. It's like hitting a reset button for your brain. Animals do this naturally. If a dog gets startled, what does it do? It shakes its entire body. They're literally shaking off stress, letting that pent-up energy go. Humans, deep down, work in a similar way. Wise people, long ago, knew our physical state affects our mental peace. They understood that tension in the body often means tension in the mind. Here's the thing, when you're stressed, your body tenses up. Your shoulders might rise, your jaw might clench. These reactions hold on to mental stress. So, a quick, full body shake, gently bouncing, wiggling your arms, even a sigh, tells your body to release that tightness. It's like a tangled knot. A little jiggle can loosen it. Or, imagine your thoughts are like snow in a globe. If you shake it too much, it's a blizzard. But a gentle shake, then letting it settle, helps everything become clear again. It's not about ignoring problems. It's about creating space, a moment of stillness, so you can see them more clearly. This simple action helps you find a quiet spot inside, even when the world outside feels loud. It reminds us our bodies are powerful tools for helping our minds find peace, one gentle shake at a time. This might work for you when your brain just needs a moment to breathe. Friends, make your brain happy. Have you ever noticed how a tough day feels lighter just by spending time with your friends? It's not your imagination. There's a powerful reason for this. Deep in your brain, here's the thing. When you connect with people you care about, your brain gets busy. It releases special chemicals, like oxytocin. You might know it as the cuddle hormone. It helps you feel safe, loved, and understood. It lowers stress and can even make pain feel less intense. It's like your brain is giving you a warm, fuzzy hug from the inside. For a very long time, people have known how important friends are. Ancient Greek thinker Aristotle knew friendship wasn't just fun. He believed it was a necessary part of a good life. He said we are social creatures, meant to share life with others. He understood, without brain scans, that humans need connection to thrive. This deep need is built into us. Think about a hard math problem you're solving alone. You might feel stuck, but then a friend joins you, even if they don't know the answer. Just talking it through, or laughing about it, makes things feel easier. Suddenly, your brain isn't battling alone, or just sitting quietly with a friend, both reading different books, feeling comfortable. That sense of belonging, that calm presence, is your brain soaking up good feelings. So, spending time with friends isn't just about having fun. You are giving your brain a powerful gift. You are strengthening something vital inside yourself. Friendship helps our minds stay strong and hopeful. It helps us feel truly alive and connected. It reminds us that we are never completely alone. Stop looking over your shoulder. Have you ever found yourself replaying something you said, or something you did, over and over in your head? It's like you're constantly checking behind you, even when nobody is there. This feeling, this looking over your shoulder, isn't about real danger, but about something deeper. It's about worrying what others think of you, or being scared of past mistakes catching up, or just feeling like you can't truly move forward because you're tied to what happened before. Here's the thing. People have felt this way for thousands of years. Ancient philosophers, wise people from long ago, often talked about living in the now. They knew that spending all your energy on what others might say, or what already happened, keeps you from being truly alive today. It's like trying to walk forward while always looking backward. You're bound to trip. Think about it this way. Imagine you're playing a video game. You just made a mistake. Maybe you fell off a cliff or missed an important item. If you spend the next 5 minutes thinking about that mess up, replaying it in your mind, you're not focused on the level you're in now. You're not seeing the enemies coming, or finding the new clues. Your game will suffer. You're stuck in the past, unable to really play the present moment. And that's why it matters in real life. When you stop constantly checking what's behind you, you give yourself permission to step fully into your own story. You get to breathe, to think, to simply be. Your journey is yours. It's not about proving yourself to ghosts of the past or to imagined eyes. It's about finding peace in the steps you take right now, facing forward with a quiet heart. This can help you feel stronger, less weighed down, and truly present in your own life, moving forward without the constant drag of what's behind you. High fives for yourself. Have you ever stopped to really notice the small victories in your day? Not the big splashy wins, but the quiet moments when you did something good, even when it was hard. Maybe you finished that tough math problem, or you spoke up in class, or just got out of bed when you really didn't want to. These little moments, they deserve a hug from you to you. Here's the thing. We often wait for others to praise us, and that's nice, right? But what if we learned to celebrate ourselves first? Imagine ancient Greece. Thinkers like Aristotle spoke of eudaimonia. This wasn't just about being happy. It was about living a life where you truly tried your best. It meant knowing your own worth and what you contributed. It's like giving yourself credit for the effort you put in, no matter the final result. Picture this. You've been working on a big project for school, maybe a science fair display. It's late, you're tired, and you could just quit. But you push through. You add that last detail. You make it shine. When you finally step back, you don't need someone else to tell you it's good. You know you did that. You feel it in your bones. That feeling, that quiet pride, that's your mental high five. It's your brain saying, "Good job, friend. You showed up." It's not about being arrogant or thinking you're better than others. It's about building a quiet strength inside yourself. When you practice this, when you truly acknowledge your own small efforts and your own good intentions, you're watering a tiny seed of self. And over time, that seed grows into a steady, comforting tree, always there, offering shade and reminding you of your own quiet power. It helps you remember that you are capable, even when the world feels loud and uncertain. The creativity cure for dulls. Have you ever felt dull, like your brain is stuck or everything just feels gray? It's a common feeling, that heavy boredom or a lack of spark. But here's the thing, your mind has a powerful medicine for that, and it's called creativity. It's not just about art. Creativity is simply finding new ways to think. It connects ideas, sees the world with fresh eyes. It lets your mind wander, building something new, even if it's just a new thought. Think about ancient thinkers. They didn't call it creativity, but they knew the power of beauty and wisdom. They believed engaging with ideas, making sense of things, even just observing nature, led to a richer inner life. This is the same deep human need, to make, discover, to imagine what could be. It's about bringing your unique self into the world. Imagine needing dinner, and all you have are random leftovers. Your first thought might be, ugh, nothing. But then your brain starts to play. What if you chopped the chicken, mixed it with rice, added spices? Suddenly, it's a new, tasty that small act of combining things, solving a problem with imagination, is creativity. It wakes up your mind. It reminds you, you're not just a passive receiver. You're an active participant, and that's why it matters. When you let your mind create, even in small ways, it feels like opening a window in a dusty room. Fresh air comes in. It's a quiet whisper. There is wonder here, even in the everyday. It helps you feel more alive, more connected, less alone with that dull feeling. It's a gentle reminder that inside you, there's always a place where new things can grow. A clear desk, a clear mind. Have you ever looked at your desk, piled high with books, papers, and maybe a forgotten snack? Did you feel a quiet heaviness? Not just the desk, but you. That feeling of chaos around us can make your mind feel jumbled, too. Here's the thing. Our outside world often mirrors our inside one. When your space is messy, your thoughts can feel just as cluttered. A clear desk isn't only about neatness. It's about making a calm space for your mind to breathe. Think of it like giving your brain a quiet room. This idea isn't new. Thinkers from long ago, like ancient philosophers, knew how much our surroundings affect us. They believed order around you helps bring order within. That's why it matters. Monks in ancient temples kept their spaces simple and clean. They did this to find peace and focus. Every loose paper, every stray pen, takes a tiny bit of your brain's attention. Think about your computer's desktop. If it's covered with hundreds of files, finding what you need is hard, right? It slows things down. Your brain works a lot like that. When your physical desk is cluttered, your brain works harder. It tries to ignore distractions, searching for what's important. But if your desk is clean, your mind focuses easier. It can just be done. So, tidying up isn't just a chore. It's a quiet gift you give yourself. It's about making a little peace in your day. You clear a path, not just for your pen, but for your thoughts. Small acts of order bring a deep sense of calm. This helps you feel more in control, more settled. It's about finding clarity, one clear surface at a time. That feeling of inner quiet is powerful. One thing at a time. Please, have you ever felt your brain trying to juggle too many things at once? Like doing homework, listening to music, replying to a text, and thinking about dinner, all at the same time. It's a common feeling, that scattered energy. But here's the thing. Our minds often work best when given just one job. This isn't a new idea. Thinkers from long ago, in ancient Greece, believed in something similar. They said true peace and clear thought came from focusing your mind. They called it single-pointed attention. It meant being fully present with whatever you did, like eating a meal or solving a problem. It's like how a magnifying glass works. It gathers all the sunlight onto one tiny spot, making it powerful enough to start a fire. Our minds can be like that. Imagine building a complex Lego set. If you try to build 3 sections at once, switching between them, you'll feel frustrated. You might make mistakes or lose pieces, but focus on one part, brick by brick, until it's done. Then move to the next. The process feels smoother, it's less stressful, and the final build comes together better. Our brains aren't truly designed for multitasking, even though it feels like we can. What happens is our brain quickly switches from one task to another, and each switch costs energy. It's like repeatedly flipping a light switch. It wears out faster. So, when we give full attention to one thing, we're not just efficient, we're also being kind to our minds. We're letting them breathe, letting them work deeply, without constant jumping. And that's why it matters. There's a quiet strength in doing one thing, with all of you, right now. It brings calm power, a gentle focus that makes even small tasks feel meaningful. What would future you want? Have you ever stopped to think about the person you'll become? Not just next week, but years from now. What thoughts would that older, wiser you have for the person you are right now? It's a deep question, I know. But here's the thing. We often make choices only for today. We think about what feels good right now. But what if we paused for a moment and imagined what future us would truly appreciate? This isn't a new idea. People have wondered about the future for thousands of years. Ancient philosophers, who spent their lives thinking big thoughts, often talked about living with purpose. They asked, what kind of person do I want to be? They knew that the small things we do every day build up to make our future. It's like planting a tiny seed. You don't see the big tree right away, but you know your actions today will lead to something important later. Think about sleep. Maybe tonight you really want to stay up late, watching videos or talking to friends. It feels good in the moment, right? But what about tomorrow morning? Future you, feeling tired and grumpy, probably wouldn't be very happy. Future you would wish you had gone to bed earlier. Or imagine you're feeling stressed. Future you would want you to take a deep breath, to step away for a minute. These small choices, to rest or to pause, are like gifts you send forward in time. So, when you're faced with a choice, big or small, try this. Close your eyes for a second. Picture yourself, a little older, looking back. What advice would they whisper to you? What decision would make them proud? Caring for your future self is a quiet way of showing yourself love. A gentle wisdom that can guide your steps, one day at a time. It's about building a path, not just wandering. The challenge game. Have you ever noticed how some moments just feel harder than others? When a problem seems too big, or a task feels impossible. This isn't just about the thing itself. It's about a quiet game our mind starts to play. We call it the challenge game. Here's the thing. It's not about winning or losing. It's an inner conversation. A struggle between the part of you that wants to give up and the part that whispers, just try a little longer. Long before modern science, people wondered how we face hard moments. Wise thinkers understood life would always throw us. They knew true strength wasn't just muscles, but how you manage thoughts when things got tough. They saw struggles as chances to grow, like weights for your mind. Your character, they believed, was shaped not by avoiding hard things, but by how you met them. Even when it felt heavy. Think about learning a new skill, like a complicated piece on a piano. At first, your fingers might stumble. You might feel frustrated, wanting to just quit. That's the challenge game beginning. Your mind might tell you it's too hard, but then, a different thought pushes through. Just try one more time. Slowly, you practice a small section. Each tiny improvement isn't just about your fingers. It's your mind winning a small victory. You didn't give in to the too hard voice. And that's why it matters. This game, this quiet battle within us, is how we build inner strength and resilience. Every time you push past that feeling of wanting to quit, you're teaching your mind it can handle more. You're building a quiet confidence that stays with you. It's a gentle reminder that inside you, there's always a strength ready to play the next round. Grounding yourself right here. Have you ever felt like your thoughts were a swirling storm inside your head? Like everything was happening too fast, and you couldn't quite catch your breath? It's a common feeling when life gets busy or confusing. Here's a simple mental trick to help you find calm, even when the world feels wild. It's called grounding yourself. What does grounding mean? Think about a tall tree. Even strong winds don't knock it over because its roots go deep. Grounding yourself is like giving your mind those deep roots. It's about bringing your attention back to this present moment, right here, right now. It means noticing what you can see, hear, feel, and even smell around you. People have thought about this for thousands of years. Ancient thinkers, like the Stoics in Greece, found peace by focusing on what's real and controllable. Many old traditions teach mindfulness, being fully aware of the present. They knew our minds wander. But true peace, they found, is right here, in this very moment. Let's say you're in class, feeling super stressed about a big project. Your heart races. Thoughts jump everywhere. Instead of letting your mind run wild, try this. Really feel your feet on the floor. Notice the pressure. Listen to the quiet hum of the room. Look at the details of your pen. This simple act pulls your mind back from future worries to the solid now. It's like a reset button, slowing down those overwhelming thoughts. It's not about ignoring problems. It's about creating a moment of stillness, a quiet island inside yourself. This calm helps you think more clearly, feel more steady. It reminds you that even when the world feels shaky, you have a solid place within yourself. You can always return to it. You have this power. Your brain's happy hormone party. Have you ever wondered why some moments just feel bright? like a sudden burst of sunshine inside you, making everything seem okay, or even wonderful. Here's the thing. Your brain is constantly throwing little parties, with special guests, tiny chemical messengers called hormones. Some are your brain's happy crew: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. They rush around, sparking joy.com and connection. They make you feel good when good things happen, or when you connect with someone you care about. Long ago, people didn't know about these tiny messengers. They thought feelings came from the heart, or from mysterious spirits. Some even believed different body fluids, called humors, controlled our moods. It was a beautiful, almost magical idea that feelings were a grand, mysterious force. But here's what I found. Now we understand it's more like a sophisticated internal symphony, with these chemical signals playing crucial notes. It shows how much our physical body shapes our emotional world. Think about it. When you finally solve a tough math problem, or your favorite song comes on the radio, that little zing of excitement, that yes feeling, that's often dopamine saying, "Great job, do more of that." Or when you're laughing with your best friend, feeling totally understood and safe, that warm, fuzzy feeling, that's often oxytocin, the connection hormone, giving you a mental hug. These aren't just random good feelings. They are your brain actively responding, encouraging you towards things that are good for you. And so, we realize these moments of inner brightness aren't just random luck. They are our amazing brain's thoughtful way of rewarding us, guiding us towards well-being. It's a gentle reminder that even on tough days, our minds hold the potential for small, powerful celebrations. We can learn to notice them and invite more into our lives simply by being present, connecting with others, and appreciating the quiet magic happening within us every single day. Freeing your mind from hold-up shave. You ever felt like your thoughts were holding you hostage, like a heavy chain around your heart, keeping you from moving forward? Sometimes, our own minds create these hold-ups. They are those sticky worries, old regrets, or even fears about what might happen next week. These thoughts can keep us trapped, even when we are physically free. Here's the thing. People have felt this way for thousands of years. Long ago, thinkers in ancient Greece talked about how important it was to focus only on what you can actually change. They knew that spending energy on things outside your control just makes you suffer. It's like trying to stop the rain with your bare hands. Impossible and draining. Think about it like this. Imagine you were about to give a presentation in class. You prepared, you practiced, and you know your stuff. But your mind keeps playing back a time you messed up a different presentation last year. That past mistake, that old memory, is a hold-up. It makes your hands shake now and fills your stomach with butterflies, even though this moment is totally new. That old memory stops you from being fully present for this new chance. When we can gently push aside these hold-ups, it's like a deep breath after being underwater. The weight lifts. You get to be fully in the now. It's not about forgetting what happened or ignoring future challenges. It's about not letting those thoughts control your peace today. And that's why it matters. You deserve to feel light, to find joy in each moment, and to keep growing without those chains. It is a quiet strength, a gift you can give yourself. Drawing your own personal line. Have you ever felt totally drained, like you're doing too much for everyone else? It's a tough feeling, isn't it? Here's the thing. Everyone needs a personal line. This line isn't about being selfish. It's about figuring out what you can handle and what simply isn't okay for you. It means deciding where your energy ends and where someone else's request begins, and then gently sticking to that dot. Think of your own personal space as a garden. You get to decide what grows there, what flowers bloom, and what thorny weeds you keep out. If you don't have a fence, anyone can just walk in, trample your plants, and make a mess. For thousands of years, people have thought about this. Ancient thinkers knew that truly caring for yourself and knowing your limits was a quiet kind of strength. It's how you protect your inner world. So, imagine your friend wants to hang out every night, but you have a huge project due tomorrow. You like your friend, but you know you need that time to focus and rest. Drawing your line means saying something kind but firm, like, "I can't tonight. I really need to work on my project, but I'd love to catch up over the weekend." It's not rejecting them. It's respecting your own time and what you need. This might feel hard at first. Some people might not quite get it. But when you learn to draw your line clearly and gently, you actually teach others how to treat you. You also show yourself that your own feelings, your peace, and your well-being truly matter. It's a brave promise you make to yourself to guard your spirit, keeping your inner light strong and bright, not fading from constant demands. Opening doors to new ideas, voiceover calm, reflective, slightly wonder-filled. Have you ever felt like your mind was stuck, like a door that just wouldn't budge? We all have those moments. But here's the thing, our minds are full of hidden doors. Behind each one is a new idea, a different way of seeing the world. Opening these doors means being willing to look past what we already know, or what we think we know. It means letting curiosity lead, even when it feels a little uncertain. Think about how amazing it is when someone discovers something completely new. For a long time, people thought the earth was flat. Imagine how hard it was for early thinkers to even suggest it was round. They had to open a massive mental door, pushing past old beliefs and fears of being wrong. It wasn't about having all the answers at first, but about asking new questions, like what if? That simple question is often the key to everything that can help you too. Maybe you're trying to solve a math problem and keep hitting a wall, trying the same method over and over. But what if you stopped, took a breath, and tried to see the problem from a totally different angle? It's like building with Legos and a piece doesn't fit. Instead of forcing it, you turn it, flip it, or look for a different piece. Suddenly, it clicks. That's your mind opening a door. And that's why it matters. When we welcome new ideas, we're not just learning facts. We're growing, expanding who we are. It's like adding more colors to your personal painting of the world. Each new thought, each fresh perspective, makes our inner landscape richer and more vibrant. It reminds us our understanding is always a journey. There's always more to see, always more to feel, just beyond the next open door. Getting lost in what you love. Have you ever been doing something you truly enjoy, and then looked up, only to realize hours had just vanished? One moment you start, the next, a big chunk of time has passed, and you hardly noticed. It's like time itself just stops mattering. This feeling, this deep, quiet focus where everything else fades away, is a powerful mental trick your brain uses. It's when your mind finds a true home in an activity. You're not thinking about chores, or tests, or what someone said yesterday. You are just there, fully present, completely absorbed. Think about people who lived long, long ago. Even back then, wise thinkers wondered about these moments. They talked about a kind of peace you find when your mind is totally absorbed. It's not a new idea. It's an ancient human experience. When you're caught up in something you truly love, your brain isn't stressed. It's working at its best, finding a natural, quiet rhythm. Everything just clicks. Maybe it happens when you're drawing a character, bringing it to life on paper, or building something intricate with your hands. Perhaps it's when you're totally immersed in a story, a captivating book, or a challenging video game. 1 minute, you start, the next, the sun has gone down, or dinner is ready. The world outside just disappears. And for a little while, that's okay. Your brain isn't being lazy. It's getting a deep, refreshing break, doing something it genuinely wants to do. So, these precious moments aren't just about wasting time. They are vital. They give your mind a chance to rest from the usual noise and demands of daily life. Finding these activities you love, and truly letting yourself get lost in them, is a quiet kind of strength. It's how you refresh your spirit and bring back a sense of wonder. These experiences remind you what it feels like to be truly engaged, alive, and completely at peace. Cherish those moments. They are like little, secret gifts to your mind and heart. Stepping into someone else's shoes. Have you ever wondered what it's truly like inside someone else's mind? What it feels like to live their day, to carry their worries, or even their secret joys? This is a quiet mental trick we can all use. Stepping into someone else's shoes. It means trying to understand how another person is feeling, seeing the world from their side. Even if just for a moment, people have thought about this idea for a very long time. Wise thinkers, those who lived thousands of years ago, understood that truly seeing another person's heart was a powerful thing. They knew that understanding others isn't just about being kind. It helps us understand ourselves better too. It's like our brains are built to imagine, to play a tiny movie of someone else's life. Here's an example. Imagine a friend who's suddenly quiet in class, maybe looking down. Instead of just seeing their frown, try to feel it. What might be heavy on their shoulders? What worry could be sitting in their stomach? You don't have to know the exact problem. The trick is to simply try and imagine that feeling of heaviness, that quiet worry, as if it were your own. You're not trying to solve it, but just to understand the shape of that emotion. This mental trick, this journey into another's feelings, helps us connect. It reminds us that every single person is on their own unique path, carrying their own unseen stories. When we make this effort, even for a moment, the world feels a little softer, a little more understood. It's a quiet act of magic that can weave us closer together, making us feel less alone in this big world. Real talk about what's possible. Have you ever wondered what your mind is truly capable of? Not just holding information, but changing and growing. Here's the thing. When we face a big challenge, we sometimes feel stuck. We think, this is just how I am, or I'll never do that. But what if our minds are actually far more flexible and powerful than we imagine? For centuries, people have asked, what are we truly capable of? Can we learn anything? Can we overcome anything? The answer, getting clearer through science, is a big yes. Our brains aren't fixed. They are more like adaptable gardens. This idea, sometimes called neuroplasticity, simply means your brain can rewire itself. It builds new paths, strengthens old ones, and even lets go of connections it doesn't need. Think about when you first tried to learn something new, like playing a video game that felt impossible at first, or mastering a tricky skateboard move. It felt clunky, right? Your hands stumbled, your body felt awkward, but you kept trying. Slowly, your brain made new connections. Your movements got smoother, faster, more natural. You didn't just get better. Your brain actually changed how it works to help you. So, here's what I found. Every day your mind is doing amazing things. It's adjusting, learning, and finding new ways to face the world. This means the struggles you feel today, the big problems that seem too heavy, don't have to define your tomorrow. You have this quiet, incredible power inside you to adapt, grow, and discover new strengths. It's not about suddenly becoming perfect. It's about knowing that real change, real growth, is always an option, always a possibility, blooming quietly within you. Practicing your words. What if the most important words aren't the ones you say out loud, but the ones you whisper to yourself? Think about that for a moment. Our minds are always talking, always creating stories about what's happening, about who we are, and those stories are built from the words we choose. When we tell ourselves, I can't do this, we start to believe it. It's like we're building a wall, blocking off possibilities before we even try. But when we change those words to, this is tough, but I'll try my best, a different path opens up. Here's the thing. People have understood for centuries that the words we use, especially about ourselves, really shape who we are. Ancient thinkers, long ago, noticed how our inner chatter affects our peace and strength. They knew our minds listened to our own voices more closely than to anyone else's. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about how we frame the challenges, how we describe our feelings. Imagine you're faced with a project that feels huge and overwhelming. If your inner voice keeps saying, I'm going to mess this up, I'm not smart enough, you've already started with a heavy heart. You're likely to feel defeated, maybe even give up. But what if you told yourself, this is big, but I can take it one step at a time. I can ask for help if I get stuck. It doesn't make the project easy, but it changes your whole approach. It gives you a sense of power, a chance to move forward. So, practicing your words means choosing them carefully, like picking the right tools for a specific job. It's a quiet practice, one that happens deep inside you, but this small, consistent effort builds a stronger, kinder inner world. And that's why it matters so much. Because your inner world, shaped by your own words, is the place you live every single day. Why we see things differently. Have you ever looked at the same cloud as a friend, and they saw a dragon, but you saw a ship? Your eyes see the same shape, but your minds tell different stories. Why does that happen? Why do we look at the world and come away with such varied pictures in our heads? Here's the thing. Our brains are always working to make sense of everything around us. They don't just record what's there. Instead, they interpret it, like a special filter. This filter is built from everything that has happened to us. Our memories, our feelings, what we've learned, and the culture we grew up in. So, what you see isn't just light hitting your eyes. It's light and all your past experiences combined. This idea isn't new. Thinkers from long ago, like ancient Greek philosophers, wondered about this. Plato, a famous one, imagined people living in a cave, only seeing shadows on a wall. He wondered if those shadows were their whole reality. He thought that maybe what we see every day is also just shadows, shaped by our own personal caves, our minds. It's a way of saying our perception is unique. Imagine you and a classmate both watch a movie. One of you might focus on the adventure, feeling excited by the hero's journey. The other person might notice the sad parts, remembering a time they felt alone, and the movie feels much heavier. The same scenes play out, but your brains highlight different parts, based on your own life script. You're not wrong, and they're not wrong. You just experienced it through your own personal lens. So, when someone sees the world differently than you, it's not because they're trying to be difficult, it's because their mental filters, their personal history, have shaped their view in a unique way. And that's okay. It teaches us something important: to listen, to understand that everyone carries their own universe inside their head. It means being kind, knowing we all walk a different path, even when we walk side by side. Setting yourself up for success. Have you ever woken up and just known it was going to be a good day? Not because something big was happening, but because everything felt smooth. Your bag was packed, your homework was done, you knew what you needed to do. What if we could create more of those feelings for ourselves, more often? Here's the thing. That feeling of calm, of being ready, it isn't just luck. It's often the quiet reward for something you did earlier. It's about setting yourself up. This means doing small, smart things now so your future self can have an easier time. Think of it like building a house. You don't just start throwing bricks around. You spend time planning, digging a strong foundation, making sure the ground is firm. Ancient thinkers knew this. They talked about how important it was to prepare your mind, just like you'd prepare for a journey. They understood that a solid beginning makes for a steady path. Imagine a chef getting ready for a big dinner. They don't wait until the guests arrive to chop vegetables and measure spices. No, they do all of that before the cooking even starts. They call it mise en place, everything in place. That way, when the heat is on, they can cook with focus and less stress. Your life can be like that kitchen. When you lay out your clothes the night before, or charge your laptop, or decide what you'll work on first, you are doing your own mise en place. You are making space for clarity, for a smoother flow, and that's why it matters. It's not just about getting more done. It's about giving yourself the gift of a calmer mind. It's about replacing the hurried panic with a gentle sense of readiness. When you set yourself up, you're not just preparing for a task. You are preparing your spirit. You are telling yourself that you are worth the effort, that your peace matters. It's a quiet way of showing care, not just for the day ahead, but for the person living through it. Reminders that really stick. Have you ever wondered why some lessons, some words, some feelings just stay with you forever? They settle deep inside, like a stone dropped into calm water, making ripples that never quite fade. But other things, they just float away, barely leaving a trace. Here's the thing. The reminders that truly stick aren't just facts you memorize. They're often connected to something bigger, something that touches your heart or changes how you see the world. Long ago, people didn't have books or phones to write everything down. So, how did they remember what was important? They told stories, they sang songs, they created rituals. It wasn't just about repeating words. It was about feeling the meaning behind them. It was about making the wisdom alive, so it became part of who they were. Something to pass on. Think about a time you got a small scar, maybe from falling off your bike. The scar itself is just a mark on your skin, but the memory that comes with it, the feeling of the fall, the surprise, maybe the scraped knee, and the gentle way someone helped you up, that's what truly stays. It's not just the physical mark, it's the story, the feeling, the lesson. That scar becomes a quiet reminder of resilience, or maybe of being more careful next time. It's a part of your own personal history, a whisper of a moment that shaped you a little. These deep reminders are like anchors for our souls. They guide us when we feel lost, or remind us of who we really are when things get tough. They show us what matters, not just what we need to remember for a test. They become the quiet wisdom that helps us navigate our own paths, always there, always gentle. Asking what if. More often, have you ever stopped to just wonder, what if? It's a simple question, right? But here's the thing, those two little words hold so much power. They are a mental trick, a quiet invitation to explore worlds that don't exist yet, or to understand feelings we haven't quite touched. We often get caught in what's happening right now, or what we expect, but our minds can do so much more. For centuries, even before we wrote down history, people have used what if. It's how early humans looked at the sky and asked, what if the sun doesn't rise tomorrow? Or what if we could fly? This isn't just daydreaming, it's the spark of discovery. Ancient Greek thinkers, like Plato, would often ask, what if our reality isn't the only one? They used this thinking to push past what everyone believed, searching for deeper truths. It's a way of looking at a closed door and imagining all the hallways behind it. Think about a moment when someone says something that hurts you. Your first reaction might be sadness or anger. But what if, instead, you asked, what if they are hurting too? What if something tough just happened in their day? Or imagine a scientist looking at a problem. What if we tried mixing these two things differently? That simple question might lead to a brand new medicine or a cleaner energy source. It's about pausing our automatic reactions and opening up to possibilities. Seeing the world from a different angle, asking what if, allows us to step into another person's shoes, to feel what they might feel. It helps us see solutions we couldn't before. It builds empathy, making our hearts bigger. It builds courage, making us brave enough to try new things. And it reminds us that even when things feel stuck, there are always other paths, other ways to understand, and other ways to be. It's a gentle reminder that our world and our minds are much wider than we often let them be. Bouncing back when things get tough. Have you ever felt like everything was just ... too much? Like you'd made a mistake that couldn't be fixed, or a problem just wouldn't go away? That heavy feeling, it can really weigh you down. And sometimes, it feels easier to just stay down there, quiet and still. But here's the thing about being human. We're built to bounce. We're wired to find our way back up, even when it feels impossible. Think about people from long, long ago. They didn't have fancy words for it, but they knew this truth. They saw that a tree bending in a storm might lose a branch, but it usually stands tall again. Or a river hitting a big rock finds a way around it, slowly but surely. Life back then was super hard, but folks kept going. They had to, and that spirit, that quiet strength to keep moving forward, it's still inside us today. Here's what I found. It's like a spring. When you push a spring down, it resists, wanting to push back up. And when you let go, it does. You might get a bad score on a test, or maybe a friend says something hurtful. These moments feel like being pushed down, but the tiny voice inside you, the one that whispers, try again, or it will be okay, that's your spring. It might not pop back up super fast. It takes time. You might feel the dent for a while. So, here's what happened. Every time you get back up, even a little bit, you get stronger. You collect courage. It's not about pretending you're fine when you're not. It's about understanding that tough times happen. And you, yes you, have this incredible power to meet them, and then to rise. It's a gentle promise you make to yourself, that no matter how hard you fall, you will always try to find your feet again. And that's a beautiful, deep kind of knowing. Stretching your comfort zone. Have you ever felt that quiet tug inside? That little whisper saying, stay where it's safe, stay where it's easy. That's your comfort zone. It's a familiar space, predictable. You know what to expect. But here's the thing. Real growth, the kind that makes your mind stronger and spirit braver, often lives just outside that cozy circle. It can feel scary to step out, even a tiny bit, like standing at the edge of a deep pool, wondering if you should jump. Our minds are built to protect us, to keep us from risks. But sometimes, the biggest risk is never trying. Ancient thinkers talked about courage not as being fearless, but as finding strength despite fear. They knew facing small challenges helped people become wiser, stronger. It's about learning what you can truly handle. Little by little. Think about learning to ride a bike. At first, it's wobbly. Maybe you fall. Easier to just walk, right? But if you keep trying, pushing past that awkward feeling, something amazing happens. Your body remembers, your mind connects, and soon, you're gliding. That moment you rode without falling, that was you stretching your comfort zone. You allowed yourself to be a beginner, and that's okay. Each tiny step outside your familiar space builds something important inside. It builds trust in yourself. It reminds you that you are capable of more than you think. So, when you feel that small urge to try something new, or face a tiny fear, perhaps listen, because here's what I found. Those gentle stretches, those brave little steps, are how our minds truly grow stronger. They teach us resilience. They help us understand ourselves and the world in a much deeper way. They are how we learn to function, not just survive, but truly live. Facing your fears. Have you ever felt that icy grip, that tight knot in your stomach, when you know you have to do something you're truly scared of? Maybe it's giving a presentation, trying out for a team, or even just saying hello to someone new. We all feel it. But here's the thing. Facing your fears isn't about suddenly not being scared. It's about feeling that fear, honoring it, and choosing to take a step forward anyway. Think about the old stories, even from thousands of years ago. Philosophers like the Stoics taught that much of our suffering comes from the fear of what might happen, not what is happening. They believed that if you truly looked at your fear, really examined it, you'd often find it less scary than your imagination made it. They encouraged people to calmly consider their worst-case scenarios, not to obsess, but to understand. And often, just that quiet look made the fear shrink a little. This can help you. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a swimming pool, and you're a bit nervous to jump in, even though you know how to swim. Your mind might whisper doubts, making the water seem colder or deeper than it is. But when you take that breath, close your eyes, and just leap, for that one moment, you are choosing action over dread. And once you surface, the water usually feels fine, and you feel lighter, proud even. You didn't conquer the pool. You simply faced your own worry. So, here's what I found. Each time we gently nudge ourselves toward what makes us uncomfortable, even in small ways, we're not just overcoming a moment. We're building a quiet strength inside us. It's like collecting tiny stones of courage. Over time, these stones form a path, showing us we can trust ourselves, making the unknown feel less scary, and helping us understand how strong our spirit truly is. Getting it out on paper. Have you ever felt like your brain was a tangled ball of yarn? A million thoughts, worries, and ideas swirling, making it hard to think straight. It's a heavy feeling, like carrying too many books, even when you can't see what's weighing you down. Here's the thing. Sometimes, the best way to untangle that mess is to just ... get it out. Not out of your head and into someone else's, but onto a page. It's a simple act. You take those invisible burdens, the things that nag at you, the questions that keep you up, and you give them form. You write them down. For a very long time, people have known this trick. Ancient philosophers, thinking deep thoughts, often wrote in journals. They knew it helped them make sense of their own minds. Think of it like a mental broom, sweeping away the dust so you can see the floor again. Imagine you're trying to figure out a tough science project. Your brain buzzes with ideas, doubts, and steps. You try to keep it all in your head, but it feels overwhelming. But what happens when you grab a piece of paper and just start listing everything? The materials you need, the questions you have, the steps you think you'll take. Suddenly, it's not a giant, scary blob. It's a list. It's manageable. You can look at it, cross things off, and make a plan. That act of writing is like turning up the lights in a dark room. It brings order to chaos. When you see your thoughts written, they lose some power to scare or confuse you. They become just words. Words can be rearranged, understood, and sometimes simply let go. It's a quiet way to find clarity, a gentle path back to yourself, one sentence at a time. It lets your mind breathe, making time for what matters. Have you ever felt like the day just disappeared, like you woke up, and suddenly it was evening, and you weren't sure what you even did? It's a strange feeling, like time is a river rushing past, and we're just watching it go by. But here's the thing. Time isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we make. Think about it. We each get the same 24 hours. The real trick isn't finding more time, because that's impossible. The real trick is deciding what we fill those hours with, what truly matters to us. Is it our friends, family, a hobby, learning something new? Long ago, thinkers like Seneca, a Roman philosopher, wrote about this. He said that life isn't necessarily short, but we make it short by wasting so much of it. He felt we often spend our days chasing things that don't truly feed our soul, letting the precious moments slip away without truly living them. It's like having a limited amount of water in a pitcher. You can water a small, special plant, or you can just let it spill on the ground. Here's a simple idea. Imagine your phone. You spend a lot of time on it, right? Scrolling through videos, chatting, maybe even playing games, and that's okay, sometimes. But what if you chose, just sometimes, to put it down for an hour, to instead sit with your little sister and build a tower of blocks, or help your grandpa in the garden, or even just look out the window and notice the clouds changing shape? That hour with your sister, or in the garden, or just observing the world, those moments build something real inside you. They create memories, connection, a feeling of being truly present. When we choose to spend our time on what truly matters, even in small ways, we're not just passing the hours, we're building our life, moment by moment. It's a quiet power, this choice, and it can bring a deep kind of peace, knowing you're honoring what truly counts. Eating the frog early. Have you ever woken up with a knot in your stomach, knowing there's one big, tough thing you have to do today, but you just dread it? Maybe it's a huge essay, a difficult conversation, or a chore you've put off forever. That feeling, that heavy cloud hanging over your mind, it can make everything else seem harder. Here's the thing, there's a mental trick for that, and it's called eating the frog. It means tackling your hardest, most important, and often most unpleasant task first thing in your day. Get it out of the way, just like that. The idea isn't about literally eating a frog, of course. It's a colorful way to think about facing what scares you or what you really don't want to do head on. This concept has been around for a long time. People say the writer Mark Twain once put it this way: if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And he added, if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. It sounds a little funny, but the wisdom is deep. It's about how our minds work and how we handle stress. Think about it like this. Imagine your brain has a certain amount of energy for the day. If you spend that energy worrying about the frog, that big, ugly task, it drains you, even if you haven't started it. It's like carrying a heavy backpack all day, even if you never open it. But if you take out the heaviest item, the frog, right away, the rest of the backpack feels lighter. You might have that big history project staring you down. Instead of putting it off, what if you just started with the hardest part, right after breakfast, just for 30 minutes? When you eat the frog early, something amazing happens inside your head. That knot in your stomach loosens. The heavy cloud starts to lift. You might not finish the whole thing, but you've made a dent in it. And that small victory, that moment of facing what was hard, gives you a quiet power. It's a gentle reminder that you are capable, that you can face tough things. It frees up your mind, allowing the rest of your day to feel lighter, more open, and maybe even a little bit joyful. It's not just about productivity. It's about finding a calm, early peace within yourself. Your instant calm button. Have you ever felt your heart race, your stomach drop, like everything around you is just too much? Maybe it's a big test, or an argument, or just a day when nothing feels right. That feeling, it can be intense. It's like your mind and body are ringing an alarm bell that won't turn off. But here's the thing, you have a secret, a quiet superpower tucked inside you. It's an instant calm button, not a real button you press, of course. It's a way to hit pause on the panic, a gentle flick of a switch that reminds your whole being to breathe. People have known about this hidden power for thousands of years. Ancient thinkers, like the Stoics, believed we could choose how we react to the world. Even if we couldn't choose what happened to us, they looked for a calm harbor inside their own minds, no matter how wild the storm outside. They understood that peace wasn't always found in the world, but often within us. Imagine you're about to give a presentation in class, or a tricky math problem is sitting on your desk. Your hands might feel shaky, your thoughts get blurry, like a bad picture. You can just stop for a second. Take a slow, deep breath, all the way into your belly. Hold it for a moment. Let it out slowly, as if you're blowing through a tiny straw. Focus on how the air feels entering and leaving your body. Or maybe just look at one small, unchanging spot on the wall. Just one thing. That simple, quiet act is like pushing your internal calm button. It tells your brain, hey, everything is okay. We're safe. Your body starts to listen. The racing slows. The blur begins to clear. This isn't magic. It's just noticing. It's remembering that even when the world feels loud and overwhelming, there's always a quiet place in you, a safe space you can go to any time. Your instant calm button reminds you that you have the gentle power to find peace right inside yourself. It's a quiet strength, always there, waiting for you to use it. Really, hearing what others say. Have you ever felt like someone was talking at you, but not to you? Like their words were just sounds passing by, without real meaning? Here's the thing. Truly hearing someone is more than just processing words. It's a quiet superpower, a way our minds connect. Really hearing means listening with your whole self, your ears, your eyes, and your heart. It's about catching the little sighs, the pauses, the way someone looks down when they speak. These clues often tell you what words don't. It's feeling the hidden story underneath their voice. Ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosophers, understood this deeply. They spent hours talking, asking questions, and truly listening. They knew understanding wasn't about being right, but grasping another's full idea, feelings, truth. They saw it as building bridges between minds. They called it dialogue, a journey through meaning together. This helps you see the world from another's point of view. Think about a time your friend told you, "I'm fine," but their voice was shaky, or they wouldn't look at you. Your brain didn't just hear "I'm fine." It picked up on the sadness in their eyes, the nervous fidgeting. You heard their worry. It's like looking at a drawing. You see lines, but also understand the feeling the artist shared. And that's why it matters. When you learn to really hear, you don't just gather facts. You gather understanding, empathy, and kindness. It's a mental trick that lets you step into another's world. This can help you feel more connected, make others feel seen. And in a loud, busy world, offering someone your full attention, truly hearing them, is one of the most human things. It makes you feel less alone and helps everyone feel more understood. Boosting your mood and others. Have you ever walked into a room and just felt the mood? Maybe it was heavy, or maybe it was light and full of laughter. It's strange how feelings can spread, almost like a scent in the air. This isn't just some vague idea, it's real. Our emotions don't just stay inside us. They flow out, like gentle waves, and touch the people around us. When you feel good, that feeling often becomes contagious. And when you're struggling, that can affect others too. Ancient thinkers, people like the Stoics long ago, understood this. They talked about how our inner world shapes our outer world. They believed that taking care of your own calm and kindness wasn't selfish. It was a gift to your community. Imagine dropping a small stone into a calm pond. The ripples spread out, getting wider, touching everything on the surface. Your mood works the same way. One kind word, one genuine smile, can create a ripple. It moves from you to a friend, then to someone else, and soon, a whole space feels brighter. Think about being in class. If one person complains about an assignment, that negativity can quickly spread. But here's the thing. What if someone else offers a quiet word of encouragement, or just a calm, steady presence? That can shift the whole energy. It's like how a single light can chase away darkness in a room. You don't need a giant spotlight. A small, steady glow is often enough. And so, we have more power over these emotional ripples than we sometimes realize. Choosing moments of peace, choosing to offer a little extra patience, or a bit of kindness, isn't just about making you feel better. It's about building a kinder, gentler world, one small, quiet interaction at a time. Your inner light is a gift you share with everyone you meet, whether you mean to or not. And that's why it matters so much how we nurture it. What sets you off? Have you ever felt a sudden rush of frustration, or a quick spike of anger, because of something small? It's like a tiny spark that can light up your whole mood in an instant. Here's the thing. Everyone has these moments. They are like personal off switches. Certain words, actions, or even sounds can flip that switch inside us. These are what we call triggers. They don't make you a bad person. They just show what your mind and heart react strongly to. Knowing them helps you. Long ago, thinkers like the Stoics in ancient Greece talked about this. They believed we can't always control what happens. A storm might ruin plans, or someone might say something mean, but they taught that we can control how we react. The storm is outside. Your anger about it is inside. Understanding your triggers helps you choose your inner response. Instead of just letting it happen. Think about playing a video game. You're close to winning, and your internet lags, or your controller dies. That instant feeling of that's a trigger response. It's not the lag itself that makes you upset, but your brain's reaction to something stopping your goal. Or maybe it's a classmate who always taps their pen. It might drive you nuts. That tap is a trigger for your annoyance. Here's what I found. Once you know what pushes your buttons, you can notice that push before the full reaction takes over. It's a quiet strength, really, to simply observe those moments when you feel yourself getting set off. It's not about never feeling upset. That's impossible. But it is about understanding why, and giving yourself more space between the trigger and your feeling. It means you get to choose, even a tiny bit, how you let the world affect your peace. This might work for you. Just noticing is the first step to feeling more in charge of your own inner world. Practicing in your head. Have you ever found yourself doing something in your mind, over and over, before you ever actually did it? Maybe you imagined giving a speech, or acing a test, or even just having a tough conversation. This isn't just daydreaming. It's a powerful mental trick we all have, often without even knowing it. It's called mental rehearsal, and it's like a secret training ground inside your skull. Here's the thing. Your brain is amazing. When you vividly imagine yourself performing an action, your brain lights up in many of the same ways as if you were actually doing it. It strengthens the neural pathways, those tiny connections that tell your muscles what to do. So, by simply thinking about an action with focus and detail, you can actually get better at it without moving a single muscle. This isn't a new idea. Even ancient Olympic athletes were said to visualize their perfect performance, seeing every leap and throw in their minds before they took to the field. Think about a skateboarder wanting to land a new trick. They might spend hours just watching videos, yes, but also closing their eyes, seeing the board beneath their feet, feeling the air, turning, landing perfectly. They picture the slight wobble, the recovery, the rush of success. When they finally try it, their body feels a strange sense of familiarity, because their brain has already been there. It's about more than just getting better at a skill. This inner practice builds quiet confidence. It teaches you that challenges can be met, that mistakes can be learned from, all in a safe space. It shows you that your own mind can be your greatest ally, preparing you not just for the big moments, but for the countless small ones that make up a life. It's a gentle reminder that even when things feel uncertain, you carry a hidden strength, a quiet readiness inside you, ready to be called upon. Stumbling but not falling. Have you ever felt like your whole world tilted, like you were about to trip and fall hard, but somehow, you caught your balance at the last second, maybe a little shaky, but still standing tall? That feeling, that moment of recovery, isn't just about how your body works. It's a deep, quiet strength in your mind, a mental trick that keeps you moving forward even when things get tough. It's about not letting a bad moment become a total disaster. Here's the thing, life will always throw unexpected challenges in your path. Sometimes you see them coming, and sometimes they hit you out of nowhere. For a very long time, wise thinkers have talked about this. People like the ancient Greeks, centuries ago, understood that true inner strength isn't about avoiding every single problem. They believed it's what happens after you hit one. It's knowing that mistakes and difficult times are just part of being alive. These stumbles, they thought, actually make us stronger, teaching us how to adapt and bounce back. It's like your mind builds a muscle for resilience with every challenge it faces. Think about learning to ride a bike. You wobbled, right? Maybe you almost tipped over a dozen times. Your body felt that sudden tilt, that loss of control, and then quickly adjusted. You leaned the other way, maybe gripped the handlebars tighter, and found your center again. Your brain remembered how to help you. The same thing happens with your feelings and your mind. Maybe you mess up an important assignment at school, and you feel that rush of embarrassment or disappointment. That's a mental stumble. But instead of letting yourself crash completely, you take a deep breath. You tell yourself, okay, that happened. What can I do better next time? You don't let the stumble turn into a full-blown fall. This isn't about being perfect or never making a mistake. It's about being truly human. It's about understanding that every single time you feel yourself wobble, every time a challenge almost knocks you down, you have this incredible power inside you to find your footing again. It's a quiet promise to yourself. No matter how hard things might get, you have what it takes to recover and keep going. And that, in itself, is a beautiful, powerful mental trick. Stand tall, feel strong. Have you ever noticed how your body feels when you're really down or worried? Maybe your shoulders slump, your head hangs a little, and your chest caves in. Here's the thing. Our bodies talk to our minds, and our minds listen. It's like a secret conversation happening all the time. When you let your body shrink, your mind often follows, feeling smaller and less capable. But what if we could use this connection to help ourselves feel better, just by changing how we stand? It's a simple idea. When you stand tall, shoulders back, head up, you send a different message. You tell your brain you are present, strong, ready for what's coming. Think about heroes in old stories or history's leaders. They always stood with power, a quiet strength. It wasn't just for looks. It showed a belief in themselves, a readiness. Imagine walking into a new class or a room full of people you don't know. If you walk in with your back straight, chin slightly up, like you own the space, you'll feel more confident inside. Your heart might still be doing a drum solo, but your body tells it to calm down, to be brave. This can help you. Your body is like a strong, silent friend, reminding your mind you're capable. It's not about being fake. It's about giving yourself a small, physical boost, an anchor when you feel overwhelmed. So, the next time you feel a bit lost or unsure, try it. pull your shoulders back gently. Lift your chin. Feel your feet on the ground. It's a quiet act of courage, a little reminder that even when things feel wobbly, you have a foundation. You are here. And just by standing a little taller, you can help your mind remember its own strength, its own quiet power to keep going. Less is often more. Have you ever felt like there's just too much? Too many clothes in your closet, too many apps on your phone, too many assignments piled up. Sometimes, all that more doesn't make us feel richer or happier. Instead, it can make us feel tired, confused, or even a little sad. Here's the thing. Often, when we have less of certain things, we gain more of what truly matters. It's not about being poor or doing without. It's about making smart choices. It means choosing quality over quantity and focus over a scattered mess. When you get rid of the unnecessary, you make room for clarity and peace. This idea isn't new. Long ago, thinkers in ancient Greece talked about it. They believed that true happiness came from wanting fewer things, not from constantly adding more to your life. They found peace in focusing on what they could control, like their thoughts and actions, rather than chasing endless stuff. For them, less wanting meant more inner freedom. Think about your phone, for example. If your screen is full of notifications, social media, and games, it's easy to get lost. Every buzz pulls your attention. But imagine if you cleaned it up. You delete apps you don't use. You turn off alerts that aren't important. Suddenly, your phone becomes a tool that serves you, not a demanding boss. You have more focus for your homework, more time for a real conversation, or simply more quiet to think. It's like clearing out a cluttered room. When you remove old toys, dusty papers, and things you don't need, the room feels bigger. It feels lighter. You can breathe easier. Your mind works the same way. When you let go of mental clutter like too many worries, too many distractions, or too many plans, you make space. You make space for new ideas, for quiet reflection, for truly connecting with others. And that's why it matters. There's a gentle power in choosing less, in finding strength in simplicity. Maybe true richness isn't about collecting everything, but about carefully choosing what truly nourishes your heart and mind. Seeing how much you've achieved, do you ever just keep going, day after day, without really stopping to notice how far you've come? It's easy to feel like you're always just starting, always looking at the next thing you have to do. Our minds are good at seeing what's ahead, what's still undone. This focus, while helpful for moving forward, can make us forget all the amazing things we've already pushed through. We often just jump to the next challenge, leaving our past efforts unacknowledged. This mental trick is about pausing, truly. It's about taking a real, deep breath and letting your mind wander back, just for a moment. It asks you to remember those times you faced something tough, something that felt too big to handle, and you found a way through it. You did that. That was you, with your own effort and courage. Wise people throughout history, from ancient philosophers to writers from a long time ago, understood this power deeply. They taught that looking back at your wins, big or small, isn't about bragging or being proud in a showy way. It's about seeing your own strength, feeling your own resilience in a quiet, true way. It helps you know what you are truly capable of, not just what you hope to be. Don't think about learning to ride a bike. At first, it felt impossible, right? You wobbled, you fell, maybe you scraped a knee. You might have even thought you'd never get it, but you kept trying. And one day, without even realizing it, you were just riding the wind in your hair. Or think about a big test you studied really hard for, and you passed it. You might have forgotten how nervous you were, how much effort it took, but you succeeded. This isn't just about feeling good for a moment, though that's part of it. It's about building a deep, quiet confidence inside you that stays. When you truly see your past achievements, you're not just remembering old moments. You are gathering real, solid proof within yourself that you have the power to overcome, to learn, to grow. And that's why it matters so much. It reminds you that the strength you need for tomorrow, for whatever comes next, is already proven. You've shown it today, and you can show it again. Just count and go. Have you ever felt a storm brewing inside your head? Your heart beats fast, thoughts race, and everything feels too big, too loud. When your mind spins out of control, that's really tough. But here's the thing. You have a simple, quiet power inside you. It's a trick that's been around forever. It's called just count and go. This isn't complicated. It's just what it sounds like. When panic starts to bubble or fear takes hold, you simply count. Count to 5, to 10, even to 20. Slowly, Deep breath in, count 1. Breath out, count 2. A small miracle happens. Your mind, which was just a wild horse, finds a tiny fence to focus on. It gives you a moment, a second, to pull yourself back. People have used versions of this for thousands of years. Think of old stories where wise people would focus on a single breath. Before fancy psychology, people knew a simple focus could calm a troubled mind. It's like a small reset button for your brain. Imagine trying out for the team, legs like jelly, or feeling worried about a big test. That dread can swallow you, but instead of letting it pause, close your eyes for a second, or just look at your desk. Quietly, inside your head, count to 10. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't magically fix the situation, but it creates a tiny space between the scary feeling and your reaction. That small count isn't about the numbers, it's about the pause. It's about remembering that even when everything feels messy, you can choose one small, deliberate action. It reminds you that you have some control over your own mind, even if it's just for 10 slow counts. It's a quiet promise. I can find my calm, even in a storm. And that's powerful. Your brain's green oasis. Have you ever felt like your brain is a crowded room, full of loud thoughts and endless worries? Maybe it's about a test, or a friendship, or just feeling confused about everything. It can get really noisy up there, can't it? But here's the thing. What if I told you there's a quiet, beautiful place hidden right inside that busy mind? A green oasis, just for you. Imagine it like this. Your brain is often a bustling city, full of traffic and tall buildings. But even in the busiest cities, there are secret parks, right? Places with trees, soft grass, and the sound of quiet. Your brain has one of these too. It's not a physical place you can walk into, but a state of mind, a feeling of calm you can find. For a very long time, people have understood this. Ancient thinkers, sitting quietly under the sky, spoke of finding a peaceful garden within themselves. They realized that even when the outside world was chaotic, they could cultivate a little patch of stillness inside. They understood that this inner quiet was a powerful thing. Think about it this way. When you're feeling stressed about a big project, or maybe some drama with friends, it feels like everything is closing in. But you can learn to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and mentally step into your own quiet space. It's like finding that hidden park in the middle of all the noise. Just for a moment, you can feel the calm, let the worries soften, and remember who you are. This isn't ignoring your problems, it's finding strength to face them. And that's why it matters. This green oasis is always there, waiting for you to visit. A true haven, just for your mind, offering you peace whenever you need it most. Sticky notes of awesomeness. Have you ever had a day where everything just felt heavy, like a silent weight pushing down, making you forget all the good things, or even how awesome you are? Here's a quiet trick for your mind, a gentle way to lift that feeling when you need it most. We call them sticky notes of awesomeness. It's a simple act, but it holds deep power. Grab some sticky notes, or tiny scraps of paper. Whenever something good happens, no matter how small, write it down. Maybe you helped a friend who was struggling, or finally understood that confusing science concept. Perhaps someone gave you a genuine compliment, or you simply found a tiny moment of peace watching the rain fall. Write it down. These aren't about huge, flashy achievements. They are about the quiet, personal victories that often go unnoticed, even by ourselves. Think back to thinkers from long ago, like the ancient Greek philosophers. They didn't have sticky notes, but they understood this idea. They often kept journals, writing down daily thoughts, moments of gratitude, or small lessons they learned. They knew reflecting on these small moments built a stronger inner self. In their own way, they were creating mental sticky notes, collecting proof of their own strength and goodness. Here's an example. Imagine you're facing a tough assignment, feeling overwhelmed and thinking, I can't do this, I'm not smart enough. But then you glance at a sticky note that says, made that amazing drawing in art class, proud of myself. Or maybe, helped my little brother feel better when he was sad. These reminders aren't magic, but they are like strong, gentle anchors for your mind. They pull you back from feeling lost. They quietly whisper, you've been kind, you've been capable, you can find that strength again. Each note becomes a quiet truth about you, an honest piece of who you really are. It's evidence you possess kindness, intelligence, resilience, or simply a worthy spirit. When you gather a collection, you see a powerful story unfolding. You see a tapestry of your own quiet power, woven from small, everyday threads. It's a profound reminder that even on the heaviest days, a quiet, unwavering strength waits inside you, ready to be remembered. It's a gentle, beautiful way to care for your own heart, one small note at a time. Looking yourself in the eye. What happens when you stand in front of a mirror and truly, deeply, look at your own eyes? It's not just about checking your hair or seeing a new outfit. It's about something much more quiet, much more profound. For a moment, you're not seeing the reflection others see, or even the one you try to show the world. You are seeing the very core of who you are, exactly in that moment. It's a raw, honest moment with just yourself. This isn't a new idea. Wise people for thousands of years, like the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, believed that knowing yourself was the most important journey. They might not have had our modern mirrors, but the idea was the same. Look inside. It's a quiet challenge to be honest with yourself, to see past the everyday masks we sometimes wear, even for ourselves. It's about facing your own truth, without looking away. Think about it like this. Imagine you've been feeling really stressed about a big test, or maybe you had a difficult disagreement with a friend. When you take a moment to look in the mirror, truly gaze into your own eyes, you can see the worry, the sadness, or the frustration there. It's like your eyes become a still, deep pool, showing you what's really going on inside your heart and mind. You can't hide from that reflection. It gently asks you, how are you really doing, deep down? It's a chance to simply acknowledge those feelings, to just let them be, without judgment. This simple act, looking yourself honestly in the eye, is a powerful mental trick that helps keep you centered. It builds a quiet kind of courage, a strength from it helps you connect with your inner self, the part of you often overlooked in the busy rush of daily life. It's a way to check in, to truly ground yourself, and to remind yourself that you are worthy of your own attention, your own understanding, and your own care. It's a silent promise to yourself, to be present, to be kind, and to be true to the person looking back. This practice can bring a deep sense of calm, a peace that comes from genuinely seeing and accepting who you are, right here, right now. Making sense of your brain buzz. Have you ever stopped for a moment, just to listen to what's going on inside your own head? It's often not quiet, is it? There's a constant hum, a whisper, sometimes a shout of thoughts, feelings, and memories. We call this the brain buzz, that endless stream of everything happening in your mind, all at once. Here's the thing, you're not alone. Humans have been wondering about this inner world forever. Way back, even ancient thinkers tried to understand it. Some saw it as the very core of who we are, a constant internal conversation that makes us unique. They even wondered if this inner world was where our true self resided, where ideas were born, and where our deepest feelings lived. It's like our brain is always on, always processing, even when we're just staring into space. Think of it like this. Your brain is a bit like a huge bustling city. Even when you're asleep, traffic lights are changing, new buildings are being planned, and countless stories are unfolding. During the day, it's even busier. Thoughts zoom around like cars, feelings bubble up like steam from manholes, and memories are like the old well-worn streets. All these things are happening at the same time, creating that constant buzz. You don't have to control every single car, but you can choose where to focus your attention, like picking a favorite neighborhood to explore, and that's why it matters. This buzz is a part of you, a natural rhythm of your existence. It reminds us that our minds are always working, always creating, always experiencing. It's not something to silence completely, but maybe something to gently observe. Learning to just notice the buzz, without getting lost in every single thought, can be a really powerful step. It helps us feel more connected to ourselves, understanding that deep down, there's always this amazing, living energy. It's a quiet strength, knowing your mind is always there, always ready to wander, to feel, to grow. A step-by-step way to fix things. Have you ever felt completely stuck? Like a problem was just too big, too tangled, to even start unraveling? It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? That weight of knowing something is wrong, but not knowing how to make it right. Here's the thing. Often the biggest problems aren't solved in one giant leap. They're fixed by taking small, quiet steps, one after the other. It's about breaking down what feels overwhelming into tiny pieces you can actually handle. This isn't about avoiding the problem. It's about making it less scary, less impossible. By shrinking it, think about ancient thinkers, like the Roman philosopher Seneca, who lived thousands of years ago. He wasn't dealing with modern-day homework stress or friendship drama. but he understood something deep about the human mind. He believed that instead of panicking when faced with a huge challenge, we should look at what we can control, and then focus our energy on just that small part. It's a way of saying, don't try to fix the whole world, just fix your corner of it, one action at a time. This simple idea offers powerful peace. Imagine your room is a total mess. Books everywhere, clothes piled up like mountains, maybe an old snack wrapper hiding under the bed. It feels absolutely impossible to clean it all, right? Your mind might scream, where do I even begin? But here's what you do. First, pick up all the clothes, just the clothes, don't worry about anything else. Then, gather all the books and put them on your shelf. After that, throw away the trash. You don't try to do it all at once. That's too much. Each small task on its own seems manageable, and before you know it, that overwhelming mess starts to look like a clean, calm space. Your brain can feel like that messy room. When you're facing a tough situation, this way of working isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending things aren't hard. It's about finding a path, however narrow, through the difficulty. It's recognizing that even the longest, most confusing journey starts with a single, deliberate step. And sometimes, the bravest act isn't a loud shout or a grand gesture, but a quiet decision to do the next small thing, to fix this one tiny piece. That small act of doing, that small bit of control you reclaim, can bring a quiet strength, a gentle hope, back into your heart. And it matters. Remembering how capable you are. Have you ever felt a moment when doubt whispers in your ear, telling you something is too hard, or that you're just not good enough? It's a feeling we all know, but here's the thing. Often, we simply forget how truly capable we are. Our minds can play tricks, making us overlook all the amazing things we've already done, all the small victories that built who we are. Long ago, wise thinkers observed this. They talked about knowing thyself, not just your name or your favorite color, but your inner strength. People like the ancient Greeks believed that inside each of us is a kind of spark, a power that helps us grow and overcome. It's not a new idea. Humans have always looked inside to remember their own quiet power, to find the deep reserves of resilience that help them face a changing world. They understood that forgetting your strength is a bigger problem than not having it. Think about when you first learned to ride a bike. You probably fell, scraped a knee, felt frustrated, right? But you didn't give up. You tried again and again, balancing, pedaling, until suddenly, you were flying. Or remember that really tough math problem, or that big presentation you had to give. You figured it out. You found a way. Your brain, your will, your spirit, they learned. They adapted. That same quiet strength, that determination, is still a part of you. It's like a deep well of calm knowing, always there, even when you feel like it's hidden. So, next time that whisper of doubt starts, pause, close your eyes for a moment, feel that deep well inside. Remember all those times you've already figured things out, learned new skills, or simply kept going when it was tough. Your power isn't gone. It's simply waiting for you to remember it's always been there, a steady light, guiding your way, blocking the bad vibes. Have you ever noticed how some feelings just stick, like a clingy shadow, even when you really want them to leave? It's like a tiny spark of worry or frustration can quickly turn into a whole fire, burning through your day. This feeling, this unwanted guest in your mind, is what we mean by bad vibes. And here's the thing, you can learn to block them. It's about building a sort of gentle shield around your inner self. Think of it like a screen door on a warm summer evening. You want the cool breeze, that fresh air of new ideas and happy moments, to come in. But you definitely don't want the buzzing, annoying mosquitoes or flies to get past and bother you. Your mind needs a similar kind of filter. It lets in the good stuff, curiosity, joy, learning, but it tries to keep out the things that buzz and bite at your peace. Long, long ago, wise thinkers knew this. They understood that you couldn't always stop tough things from happening outside of you. Life throws but they taught that you could choose how you reacted inside. They believed in protecting your inner peace, like a precious, quiet garden. They called it controlling your reactions, even when the world felt out of control. So, when a friend says something thoughtless, or a test feels impossible, you can use this trick. You don't have to let that single moment become your whole day, or let it live rent-free in your head. You can acknowledge the feeling, but then you can gently, firmly, tell it, not today, not here. It's not about ignoring problems. It's about not letting problems own you. This quiet strength, This ability to guard your spirit from the things that would dim your light is one of the most powerful mental tricks you can learn. It means you get to decide what truly settles in your heart and mind, and that helps you stay steady, even when the world outside gets a little shaky, letting you move forward with a calmer, clearer head. Learning from someone who's been there, have you ever felt lost, like you're the only one going through something really tough? The world can feel big and confusing, and that's okay. Everyone feels that way sometimes. But here's the thing. We don't have to figure everything out alone. One of the kindest ways to help our minds is by listening to those who have walked a similar path before us. This idea isn't new. Long ago, ancient Greek thinkers understood how important stories were. They wrote down their wisdom or spoke it around campfires, sharing what they learned about facing fear or sadness. People passed down lessons for generations, like precious gifts. They knew hearing someone else's journey could light up your own dark road. It's like finding a map drawn by someone who just came back from where you're headed. Think about learning a new skill, like riding a bike. Maybe an older sibling or friend showed you how. They knew the tricky parts, where you might fall. They didn't just tell you do this. They showed you, probably telling you about their own struggles. Their advice wasn't just words, it was experience. It gave you a starting point, a sense it was possible, and that your own bumps were normal. It made the challenge feel less lonely. So, when we face big emotions or tricky thoughts, finding someone who gets it can be a huge comfort. Their story might not be exactly yours, but the feelings, the struggles, the small victories they echo. In that echo, we find understanding. We realize our experiences aren't strange, but part of a bigger human journey. It helps us feel connected, like we're all in this together, learning from each other's brave steps. It's a quiet strength, knowing you're not the first to navigate the complexities of your mind. Acting confident to feel it. Have you ever felt super nervous, like your stomach was doing flips, and you just wished you could instantly feel brave? Maybe before a big presentation at school, or walking into a new place where you don't know anyone. It's a common feeling, that deep wish for inner strength to just appear. But here's the thing. Sometimes, the very act of pretending to be confident can actually make you start to feel it for real. It's like a quiet, helpful trick your mind plays on itself. This idea isn't new. Thinkers from long ago understood that how we carry ourselves, our physical actions, can ripple back and change our inner state. It's not about faking who you are, but about borrowing a feeling, like trying on a new, comfortable coat, until it starts to fit and feel like your own. Our bodies and our minds are connected in a powerful, secret way. When you choose to stand tall, even if your knees are knocking, your brain starts to get a different message than if you slumped. Imagine you're about to give an important speech in front of your class. Your voice feels shaky and your hands are clammy. Maybe your face feels hot. Instead of letting your body curl inward, what if you consciously decided to do the opposite? You stand up strong, you put your shoulders back, you take a slow, deep breath all the way down, and you make eye contact with someone, even if just for a second. You're acting like a confident person would, choosing those physical signals. And as you hold that posture, as you breathe slowly, something shifts inside you. Your heart might slow a tiny bit. Your voice might gain a little more steadiness. You start to send stronger signals to your brain that say, hey, maybe we've got this after all. It's a small, gentle rebellion against your fear, a kind whisper. It's a way to nudge yourself forward when you feel stuck. True, lasting confidence often grows from taking these small, brave actions, even when you don't feel totally ready. It reminds us that sometimes the path to feeling strong begins with simply choosing to look strong and letting your heart catch up. And that's a kind thing to do for yourself. Waiting it out calmly. Have you ever felt that restless twitch inside you? That feeling when you're stuck, waiting for something, and every second feels like an hour. Maybe it's for a text back, for the school bell to ring, or for a game to load. Here's the thing. Waiting isn't just about the clock ticking. It's a powerful mental trick, a quiet strength you can build. It's about choosing to stay calm inside, even when the world around you moves slow. Long ago, thinkers like the Stoics taught us something important. They understood that many things are beyond our control. We can't make the bus arrive faster. We can't force someone to reply instantly. But we can control how we feel while we wait. They believe that true peace comes from accepting what you can't change and focusing on your inner reactions. So, it's not about loving the wait, but about not letting the wait steal your peace. Think about a time you've planted a seed. You can't stand over it and yell, "Grow faster." You water it, give it sunlight, and then you wait. You trust the process. Or maybe you're waiting for test results. Your stomach might twist, but panicking doesn't change the grade. What you can do is breathe. Remind yourself you did your best, and understand that some things just need time to unfold. It's like watching cloudy water settle. You can stir it up more, or you can just let it sit, and eventually, it becomes clear on its own. Learning to wait calmly is like building a secret garden inside your mind. When things are uncertain or moving slowly, you can retreat there. You can breathe, reflect, and find a quiet strength. This isn't about being passive. It's about being present, about understanding that some of life's most beautiful things, like friendships, dreams, or even just a good idea, often need space and time to grow. Finding peace in the pause can make you feel stronger than any rush ever could. Dreaming up what's next, have you ever just ... thought, not about homework, but about something far off, like what kind of person you'll be in 10 years, or what your ideal summer might look like? Our minds do this amazing thing. They start dreaming up what's next, even when we don't realize it. This is a quiet, powerful trick your brain uses. It keeps you going, giving you something to aim for. This isn't just wishing, it's a deep mental process. Your brain actively builds future plans. Ancient thinkers talked about planning for outcomes to be ready. Imagine early humans. They pictured where food would be next, or how to build shelter. This ability to look ahead, to see beyond right now, has always been key for us. It helps us survive and grow. It makes us more than just creatures reacting to what's in front of us. Here's how it works. Maybe you're planning a school project, like building a model. Before you touch glue or scissors, your brain runs through designs. You see the finished product in your mind. You figure out materials. You imagine problems and how to fix them. It's like your mind is playing a movie of the future, testing out scenes. This isn't just a fantasy. This is your brain creating a mental map, a plan for what's to come. This can help you prepare and feel less worried, and it helps you make that future happen. So, this dreaming up what's next is more than just daydreaming. It's like our inner self reaching forward. It gives us hope. It shows us paths we might not have seen. Even when things feel hard, our minds have this incredible power. They can build tomorrow, piece by imaginary piece. It guides us towards something new. It gives our current moments purpose, knowing they are steps towards a future we are quietly creating inside. Your journey is yours alone. Have you ever stopped and wondered if anyone else truly sees the world exactly as you do? Think about it. Your thoughts, your feelings, your secret memories, they live inside your mind, and only you get to experience them fully. No one else can really step into your head and feel your joy, your worries, or the quiet wonder you might carry. For thousands of years, people have thought about this. Ancient thinkers, like those in old Greece, used to tell everyone, "Know thyself." They meant it's important to understand what makes you unique. They knew that even though we share the world, how we understand it, how we react to it, is all our own. We might be in a crowd, but our inner journey is always just ours. Here's an example. Imagine two friends are both trying out for the school play. They both want the part. One friend might feel a nervous excitement, picturing themselves on stage, remembering all the lines they practiced. The other friend might feel a deep, not intimate fear of failure, thinking about past times they didn't quite succeed. The situation is the same for both of them, but their emotional journey, what's happening inside their minds, is completely different. Their hopes, their fears, their inner landscapes are totally unique. This makes your journey incredibly special. A story no one else can write but you. It means you have a unique way of seeing things, a unique way of understanding the world. Sometimes, this can feel a little heavy, like you're carrying feelings or ideas that no one else truly gets. And that's okay. It's part of what makes you, you. But here's the thing. This aloneness is also your greatest power. It means your thoughts, your resilience, your quiet courage. These are all your own discoveries. No one can take them from you. Your path might not look like anyone else's, and that's not just fine. It's wonderful. Trust your own steps. Listen to your own heart, because the journey you're walking, the person you're becoming, is perfectly, powerfully, and uniquely yours. Thinking ahead to avoid problems, have you ever wished you could just know what was coming next? Like, if only you knew that pop quiz was today, you would have studied, or if you knew the bus would be late, you'd have left earlier. That feeling of surprise, especially when it's a bad surprise, can really weigh on us. But what if we told you there's a way your mind already tries to peek around corners, not to predict the exact future, but to smooth out the path ahead? This is what thinking ahead truly means. It's not magic. It's about your brain running through different what-if scenarios. Imagine a wise person from a long time ago, perhaps sitting under a tree, thinking about the seasons changing. They weren't guessing the exact temperature for next Tuesday, but they knew winter was coming, so they prepared for cold, storing food and finding shelter. They understood that looking forward, even a little, helped avoid a lot of pain later. It's about wisdom, about learning from what has happened and using that to make smarter choices now. Here's how it works in your daily life. Think about packing your backpack for school tomorrow. You don't just throw things in randomly. You think, okay, I have science, so I need my lab notebook. Then English, so I'll need my novel. And lunch, of course. You might even check the weather and grab a light jacket, just in case. You're imagining your day, step by step, and preparing for what each step might need. You're seeing potential problems, forgetting a book, being cold, and fixing them before they even happen. This simple act saves you stress, saves you trouble, and keeps your day running smoother. And that's why it matters deeply. When we take a moment to look ahead, even for small things, we give ourselves a gift. We move from feeling like life just happens to us, to feeling like we have some say in it. It's a quiet strength, knowing you've considered the possibilities and made choices that protect your peace. This gentle power comes from simply pausing to think. It's understanding that some control over our future comes from the thoughtful moments we spend today. It's about building a calmer tomorrow, one choice at a time. Motivating yourself with good stuff. Have you ever had something important to do, but your mind just felt stuck? Like you know you should clean your room, or start that big project, but a heavy blanket of nope just covers you. Here's the thing. Our brains look for comfort and pleasure. So, what if we use that natural wiring to our advantage? This mental trick is about giving yourself a small, good thing to look forward to after you finish something tough. It's not about bad bribes. It's more like showing your mind that effort leads to something pleasant. It's a gentle nudge, a quiet promise of joy. People have known for ages that we tend to repeat actions that bring happiness. Old stories mention heroes getting rewards for hard work. It's a deep part of who we are. Our ancestors felt good after a successful hunt, making them want to hunt again. It's a built-in feedback loop. Do a good thing, get a good feeling, and your brain says, let's do that again. Let's say you have a boring history chapter to read. Instead of just staring, tell yourself, after these 3 pages, I get to listen to one song I love, or watch a funny cat video for 5 minutes. It's a tiny, personal celebration, like putting a bright spot in your path. Think about training a puppy. Good behavior gets a treat. Your brain works a bit like that puppy, responding to positive things. The treat is that moment of calm or fun. This approach helps you be kinder to yourself. Instead of pushing through everything with pure willpower, which can feel draining, you create a path that feels softer, more welcoming. It teaches you that even hard things can lead to peace or happiness. It builds a habit of moving forward, knowing there's a gentle light waiting for you. It's about remembering your worth and giving yourself the good things you deserve, step by step. Where does your energy go? Have you ever finished a busy school day or a really hard test and felt completely empty? Not just physically tired, but like your brain is fuzzy and you just can't think straight. Here's the thing. Your mind uses up real energy, just like your body does. We often think of energy for running or playing, but there's also a deep, silent energy that powers your thoughts, your feelings, and every single decision you make. Philosophers and wise people have wondered about this for centuries. They notice that our inner world, the one inside our heads, isn't endless. It has limits. It takes work to concentrate in class, to sort out a problem with a friend, or even to choose what to wear in the morning. All those little mental tasks, the ones you barely notice, are like tiny apps running on your phone. Even when you're not actively using them, they're still pulling power. Think about your phone for a moment. If you leave a bunch of apps open in the background, or if you're constantly scrolling through social media, what happens? Your battery drains super fast, right? Your mental energy works a lot like that. Every time you worry about something, or try to remember a forgotten locker combination, or even just decide between 2 types of juice at lunch, a little bit of your internal battery gets used up. It's not just big, dramatic events that drain you. Sometimes, it's the constant chatter, the small choices, the low hum of anxiety or excitement that slowly siphons away your mental fuel. So, when you feel totally wiped out, it's not always because you ran a marathon. It could be that your mind has been doing a marathon of its own. Recognizing this can be really comforting. It means your brain has been working hard, processing the world, and keeping you going. It teaches us that our minds, as powerful as they are, need rest and gentle care too. Just like a phone needs recharging, our minds need quiet moments to refuel. What are you awesome at? Have you ever stopped to really think about what you're genuinely, truly good at? Not just what you like or what you work hard to learn, but something that just comes to you, something your brain does almost without trying, like a quiet superpower you carry inside. We often measure ourselves by grades or sports or how many friends we have, but there's a deeper kind of awesome living in each of us. It's about how your mind works, what you naturally notice, or how you connect with the world around you. Everyone has something like this. Think about the ancient thinkers, people who lived thousands of years ago. Even they talked about knowing thyself, figuring out what makes you you, not just your name or your favorite color, but your unique way of seeing things, your personal set of gifts. It's an old idea that finding these strengths helps you live a more meaningful life. Here's the thing. Everyone has one of these awesome, built-in abilities. Maybe you're the person who can always tell when a friend is sad, even if they're trying to hide it. Your brain just picks up on those small shifts in their voice or their eyes. Or maybe you're great at spotting patterns in numbers, or you can remember song lyrics after hearing them just once. Your mind has a special way of focusing, a quiet sensor for something specific. This isn't about being the best at everything. It's about seeing the small, powerful things your mind does automatically. Recognizing these abilities helps you understand your own quiet value. It shows you how you fit into the big puzzle of life, and how your unique way of being makes the world a little richer, a little more interesting, just because you are in it. Getting everything out of your head. Ever feel your brain bursting? Too many thoughts, worries, and things to remember all at once. It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? Like a cluttered room where you can't find space to breathe. Here's the thing. Our brains are amazing at thinking, at creating, at understanding, but they aren't always great at holding endless lists or vague anxieties. Think of it like your computer's RAM. It's fast, but it gets full quickly. All those open tabs in your mind like study for the science test. Or don't forget what Sarah said. They take up valuable space. When that space is full, everything slows down. For a long time, people have known this. Ancient thinkers, centuries ago, found a simple trick. They wrote things down, not just important records, but their own thoughts, feelings, and tasks. They kept journals, because putting words on paper helped them clear their heads. It was a way to take all those floating ideas and anchor them somewhere, safe outside their minds. When you write down everything buzzing in your head, your fears, your to-do lists, your ideas, it's like moving those mental tabs to a hard drive. This frees up your brain's power for what truly matters. Your mind isn't constantly trying to remember every detail. It knows those details are safe, waiting on paper. And here's why it matters. When you empty your head onto a page, you create quiet. You make room for new ideas. You find a moment of peace. It's not just about getting things done. It's about giving your mind space to just be, to wonder, to be truly present in your own life, without the constant noise. It's a gentle way to care for your inner world, letting go of the weight so you can stand a little taller. Being kind to yourself. Have you ever felt like you're your own toughest critic? Like you push yourself harder than anyone, and sometimes you just feel not enough? It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? Here's the thing. Being kind to yourself isn't about being weak. It's about treating your own mind and heart with the same gentle care you'd offer a true friend. It means understanding that everyone makes mistakes, and you deserve patience. People have thought about this for a long time. Ancient thinkers, like some of the Stoics, believed we should accept what we can't control and focus on our own thoughts. They understood that our inner world shapes everything, and part of shaping that world beautifully is deciding to be on your own side. It's about realizing your worth isn't tied to always being perfect or winning every time. It's just you. Think about a small plant. If you want it to grow strong and healthy, you wouldn't yell at it for not blooming fast enough, right? You give it water, sunlight, and good soil. You protect it when it's fragile. Your mind and spirit are a lot like that plant. If you constantly criticize your own emotional needs, it's like starving the plant or leaving it in the dark. But if you nourish yourself with understanding, forgive mistakes, and allow rest, then you give yourself the best chance to grow. This might work for you. So, here's what happens when you choose this path. A quiet strength starts to build inside. You learn to listen to your own needs, to forgive yourself when things go wrong, and to stand up for your own peace. It's not about ignoring challenges. It's about facing them with a gentler spirit. This lets you be more open, more honest, and surprisingly, stronger for others too. Because when your inner voice becomes a friend instead of a judge, the whole world feels a little bit kinder. And then what? Game ever feel like your choices are small waves, but you can't see the big ocean they lead to? Our minds have a quiet trick to help us glimpse those future tides. And then what? Game. Here's the thing. When you think about doing something big or small, you ask, and then what? You answer, then, about that outcome. You ask again, and then, what will happen after that? You followed the possible chain. This isn't about perfectly guessing the future. Life is too wild. It's about gently looking beyond the immediate, letting your mind prepare. It helps you feel more ready, more grounded. Ancient thinkers like the Stoics used this foresight, finding calm strength by connecting one moment to the next. Imagine, you're deciding whether to skip a study session for a big test to hang out with friends. And then what? I might struggle and get a lower grade. And then what? I'll likely feel pretty disappointed in myself. See how that feeling is connected to the first choice. This game helps you link today's actions to tomorrow's feelings and experiences. It shows the quiet ripple effect of what you do. This isn't meant for worrying. It's a gentle mental tool for clarity and inner peace. It helps you see the quiet power hidden in your choices, how each small step creates ripples. It's a way to step back, take a deep breath, and choose with more wisdom, more peace. Move forward with open eyes, understanding that your small steps truly build your larger path.